welcome you for the second time to War Memorial Stadium on this Saturday, the second half of our championship doubleheader. It is time for the 6A state championship game between the Benton Panthers and the Searcy Lions. 46 degrees. It's a chilly night, going to drop into the 30s before things are done tonight. That has not stopped the entire communities of Searcy and Benton from coming out today. It's going to be a big crowd on hand, and it should be a good football game. Searcy in the championship game, Bobby, for the first time since 1984. They are chomping at the bit. They are excited. For Benton, they were here just a year ago, and when the teams arrived today, I watched a very different Benton team versus Searcy team come on out of the field.
Yeah, this is the second time Benton's played not only in the stadium, the second straight championship game, the second time this year. Got to remember the Salt Bowl. That's right. It's Brad's here every season. It's one of those times where you hope the stage is not too big for Searcy. You mentioned it, first time in 35 years that community's been able to maybe win a state championship. Benton, this is an old trick for them.
Yeah, Benton came in very businesslike when they first arrived and walked out onto the field for the first time. Searcy was bouncing all over the place. They were excited, so we'll see how they handle their emotions in this game. And as far as the style of offense we're going to see, a lot of similarities. Yep. These guys like to chuck it around
They
the
like
field.
to throw the football around a bunch, and you're talking about 3,800 yards passing on one side, 2,800 yards passing on the other side for Benton. These two offenses know how to put the ball in the end zone, but Searcy's offense really impressive. You talk about you got to beat the man to be the man. Well, they beat the man last week, put up 50 points on the defending state champion Greenwood. That's why the Searcy Lions are here today.
They have great wide receivers. Both these teams have great wide receivers, and Benton is very deep. They like a short passing game, and they want to get their athletes in space and make Searcy make a one-on-one tackle in open space.
It's a very different team than we saw last year. Last year, the Panthers had all their success running the football. He's now playing college football.
Yeah.
And this year, it's all about the passing game. You mentioned the short passing routes. They've got 4 or 5 really big-time players on the outside. They're going to make Searcy make plays defensively in open space. Otherwise, it could be a long day for the Lion defense.
Yeah, that running back you're talking about, Zach Wallace, he's now playing for UT Martin and actually got in 4 games this year as a freshman. But it will be all about the pass tonight, and it's time to check in with the third member of our broadcast team. Eric Sullivan's down on the sidelines. Eric.
All right, Bobby and Scott, welcome back here with you guys at War Memorial Stadium. And you mentioned the crowds already. Let's get this out of the way. It's been since 1984, 35 years ago. Look at the crowd here for the Searcy Lions. They are jacked up, ready to go. Benton, of course, they're used to this. They were here last year. And keep in mind, Miles, Searcy may be a little bit of a favorite because of how they can score and throw the ball with 45 points per game. Benton has won 9 games in a row, so the confidence is high for the Panthers. Scott, we just checked our little weather gauge. It actually feels like 40 here on the field. A little bit of wind, but nothing too crazy to stop any kind of air attack, and hopefully it'll stay that way so we get some points on the board, guys.
All right, we'll check in with you, Eric, once we get started. And when you talk about how these teams are going to try to stop one another, you hear Searcy's coach talk a little bit about Benton's defensive line. They are very good up front. He says we can't block them one-on-one. You're going to have to see some double teams tonight for Searcy's offensive line.
Yeah, Benton defensively, they did a really nice job. And during that 9-game winning streak that Eric mentioned, they took down 2 teams that were undefeated when they played. They beat an 8-0 Greenwood team, and then I believe it was an 8-0 or 9-0 Lake Hamilton team. Really impressive into this regular season for Benton. A lot of that was based on their defense because you're talking about shutting down a Greenwood team or a Lake Hamilton team. Of course, the teams in the playoffs, it takes big-time stops.
All right, well, we're about 3 minutes away from getting this one started. The team's about to go out onto the field. The captains are meeting right now. We'll take a look at the coin toss and tell you who won that when we come back to War Memorial Stadium after this. You're watching the State Football Championships on AETN Sports.
One of the best things about being a community-focused bank like Centennial is that we encourage our employees to volunteer and give back. That's why our bankers are often seen around town involved in activities that have less to do with money matters and more to do with supporting others. From charity events and disaster relief to Chamber of Commerce and civic activities, we enjoy rolling up our sleeves and helping make our community a better place. See for yourself the difference our local commitment can make. More information available at my100bank.com. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
Well, we're taking a look at the coin toss right now, and they are now talking about which end zone they wish to defend. So it looks as if Benton has won the toss. They have deferred their option to the second half. So it's going to be Searcy on offense to begin things. here in the 6A title game.
And you see number 2 there for Benton on the scooter, Gavin Wells. He was one of their biggest playmakers on the outside, but can't play football with the scooter, broke his foot pretty recently, so Benton's going to have to do it a little short-handed today.
Yeah, that was in the last game, in fact.
Yeah, the state semifinals.
In the semifinal game, Garrett Wells broke his foot. And when you talk about one of their best players, 56 catches for 694 yards, 8 touchdowns, and he's also carried 46 times for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he's also thrown 7 of 15 for 118 yards and 2 touchdowns. So that really is a big factor in this game, Benton losing one of their big playmakers.
Yeah, anytime you get to this point in the season, injuries are going to be a factor for anybody who steps onto this football field. You just hope it's not one of your impact players like it is for Benton, but Gavin Wells is going to have to watch this one from the sideline and hope that the Benton Panthers can get it done without him.
There are the Benton Panthers about to make their way onto the field. Making their way here through a big come-from-behind win in the semifinals last week at West Memphis. They were down 14-0 and roared back with 49 points in the second and third quarters to win 63-35 to get back to the state championship game for the third time in the last 6 years, but they haven't won it in any of those 3 trips.
Yeah, they're probably elated to see someone other than Greenwood lining up against them in this 6A state championship game, because the Bulldogs kind of got the best of them last season, but Benton took down Greenwood in the regular season, got that hurdle out of the way. Searcy got them out of the playoffs, and these are the 2 best teams in Class 6A, and they're going to duke it out. The city of Searcy, Eric mentioned it, they may be here. They're going to come back next weekend as well, as Harding Academy is also in the state championship game, Class 3A, but impressive showing from, I guess, just what, northeast of here a bit?
Yep, about an hour away. Brian Araujo will kick it away for the Panthers. And Tanner Leonard and Damian Young will be back deep to return for Searcy. We've crowned 2 state champions so far this weekend, and we're a couple hours away from a third. The ball in the air, and we're underway. In the 6A state championship game, it's going to be fielded by Leonard, and Leonard is dumped at the 27-yard line, and that's where the Lions will start, coming out with their quarterback, Bryce Dixon. Dixon is a 6', 170-pound senior, threw 5 touchdown passes in the semifinal game last weekend.
41 touchdowns and almost 3,700 yards on the season. Those type of numbers are a pretty good indicator that Searcy is not afraid to trust their quarterback, and they're going to let it fly.
He'll start in the shotgun, and they'll keep it on the ground to Johnson Guthrie. And Guthrie gets to the 30-yard line. Guthrie, a 5'9", 180-pound senior, gets a 3-yard pickup on the first play from scrimmage.
Jaden Woolbright there with the stop for Benton. They've got 2 players who make a ton of tackles on the defensive side due to the Panthers. Woolbright's one name that's probably going to hear quite a bit of today.
Guthrie, a 1,000-yard rusher this year, and now Young is the lone setback, and he gets the give. And Young will be tackled just shy of the 35-yard line.
Pass is complete to Damian Young.
So here we talk about in the open, passing all over the field is what you should expect. The first 2 play calls are runs.
Yeah, you got to self-scout yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
Searcy's certainly done that. Run on the first play, a little swing pass on the second, but now they're faced with a 3rd and short.
They'll give it to Young, and Damian Young loses the football, and Benton's got it. 3rd play from scrimmage, and it's a turnover.
Big Brett Barberie recovers the football, number 95. His dad was actually a college teammate of mine at University of Central Arkansas back in the early part of this century. A huge play for Benton, and they've got great field position to start this football game.
Well, I was going to say, both of these teams have done a really good job at winning the turnover battle all season long. Searcy came into this game plus 15 in turnovers, but they are -1 in the first minute of this championship game. Handoff goes to Casey Johnson on first down as Benton goes to the running game to start things off. Johnson's a 5'11 sophomore and a 757-yard rusher on the season. He gets 2 there.
And 2nd down.
Benton is right back on the ball. Garrett Brown is the quarterback. Gets in. Change in the play from the sidelines. Brown on the delay, handoff to Johnson again. Casey Johnson inside the 25-yard line and very close to the first down. Comes brought up right at the down marker. Hayden Miles makes the stop, the senior linebacker for the Lions defense.
Check out number 73 on the replay. The big offensive lineman for Benton, a little draw play. He gets up to the second level, allows the Panthers to get a first down. Nice job getting up to the second level.
So Benton with a golden opportunity here in the first 2 minutes of the championship game. A turnover on the third play from scrimmage for Searcy. It's a Wildcat package, and the direct snap, the number 36. Jaden Woolbright. He gets about 5 yards. We'll call it 6. It'll be second down and 4.
Just overloaded the right side of the offensive line, a couple lead blockers, and it's a direct snap to a linebacker. Picks up 5, puts them in a very good situation for the Panthers offense.
He's 6'2", 210 out there running the Wildcat package. And it's second down and a long 4. Johnson's back in there now, and he's going to try to turn around the right end. He's got it. He's got the corner, and inside the 10, it'll be first and goal.
Yeah, it's clear that Benton wants to come out and establish themselves up front and run the football. You can just tell by the eye test they've got the clear size advantage up front. There's some beef eaters up front for the Panthers, and they're taking advantage of it early.
Jaquavius Robinson made this stop from the secondary for Searcy, and it's first down and goal for the Benton Panthers. A chance to take an early lead. Fake to Johnson. No, they give it to Johnson. He's inside the 5-yard line and then driven backward.
Well, they haven't had far to go, but 5 runs, no passes for a Benton offense that likes to try to spread it around. And they're clearly going to test the mettle of the interior defense for Searcy. And right now, Benton's winning that battle.
Demasio Whittier threw him backwards from the nose tackle spot. He's a 6'2", 260-pound senior. There's some size there on the defensive line for Searcy. Second down and goal. Handoff, Johnson, and he's again stuffed. He's again stuffed for lost yardage. Hayden Miles comes up and drives him backwards. They're going to mark him back at the 7.
Nice job by the middle linebacker. Finds a hole in the offensive line and shoots through and makes the play in the backfield. That's a big stop for this Searcy defense, now putting Benton kind of behind the chains, if you will. Third and goal from about the 8.
Third and goal. Garrett Brown pumps, goes to the back of the end zone, and it is caught. No, intercepted. Intercepted in the end zone by Daniel Perry. A 50-50 ball in the back of the end zone, and the sophomore cornerback for the Searcy Lions hauls it in.
They took away his first read. He kind of throws up that 50-50 ball like you mentioned. The ball's batted in the air, but a great defensive effort play by Daniel Perry. You mentioned this 5'10", 180 pounds, but he goes up and rips it away from the receiver. And these two teams trade turnovers, but a gigantic stop for this Searcy defense in this first quarter.
One-handed pick, and Searcy returns the favor, and now they're going to go to the air. Quarterback Dixon scrambles and finds his man at the 40. It's Marlon Crockett, and Crockett hauls it in for a 20-yard gain. Marlon Crockett, a 6'4", 190 junior, using all of his frame there.
It's always nice when you're going to have a safety valve that's 6'4", just throw it up to him and he makes the play.
Quick hit to Crockett again, and Crockett's tripped up. That's a nice tackle in the open field. That's our guy again, number 36, who took the Wildcat snap, Jaden Woolbright.
Yeah, we're going to hear his name a ton. Don't forget to stay in the know about AETN programs and announcements. Text AETN to 313131 for updates straight to your phone.
There's a flag down here on that last play on the far sidelines. They have not moved the down marker. they hear about the call here.
Illegal substitution on the defense. 12 players as the player was running off the field. 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Well, they'll take the penalty there. It'll be 1st and 5. Let's go down to the sidelines and hear from Eric.
Yeah, Scott and Bobby, while we're watching this Searcy offense really put together a nice drive here, keep your eye on Searcy's best defensive player, Demasio Whittier. He is number 69. He completely dominates the line, and I've been told he can now bench press the AETN satellite truck. 430 pounds, state champ in the heavy lifting. So that's Benton's going to have trouble with him all night long, so look out for number 69.
Hey, Buck James told us last night about North Little Rock's dudes.
Yeah,
that's a dude.
Yeah, that's a dude right there.
Bryce Dixon connects with Griffin Love there for a short pass. But they only needed 5 for the first down. He's about a yard short, so it's 2nd down and 1. Damian Young with the direct snap, and he will sneak his way close to the 45-yard line, and that's going to be enough for the first down and plus territory time for the Searcy Lions.
Just like we drew it up, we talked about how much these two teams are going to throw the football, and it's the ground game that's really been the deciding factor so far in this first period.
Both teams turned it over on their first possession. And now Searcy's threatening. Dixon to throw. Now he's going to run it. Spins out of one tackle, will not be able to escape the second. Caleb Kaufman drags him down, a 6'1 senior after a 2-yard gain.
It's a nice job to keep the quarterback kind of contained. We saw it a lot. It happened in the early game today for Pulaski Academy. Braden Bratcher was able to do a lot of damage on the scramble, but nice job by Benton to limit the damage there.
Handoff Young again around the right side, and he's out in front into the secondary, and he's got a Searcy first down. They'll mark him down inside the 30-yard line. Giovanni Vanucci with the tackle for Benton. It's a 13-yard gain.
Yeah, you can see with the confidence that Searcy's playing with, the defense gets them a stop after they turn the football over, and now Searcy's mounting the first serious drive of the game.
Dixon to throw again. Fires it over the middle, caught at the 20, inside the 10-yard line. It'll be another first down. Griffin Love with his second catch of the drive.
Yeah, that's that dynamic passing game we've expected to see from Searcy. So there's a couple different options there, a slant route, a little skinny post, and Searcy's first and goal.
They'll swing it out to Young. Young looking for the corner, behind his blockers, touchdown Lions.
A great job by his big man to get out in front, and Young does a great job of following him in behind. Really didn't need the lead blocker, but he had it, and Searcy strikes first here in the 6A state championship.
How about that answer? You cough the football up on your third play of the game. You get a pick in the end zone, start at your own 20, and drive it 80 yards down the field. The point after by Ethan Clegg is good.
That was Damon Lockhart, too, the lead blocker out there. Showed some agility for a big man, but the problem was there was nobody there for him to block. And Searcy strikes first.
We're off and running in the 6A state championship game. You're watching the state football championships on AETN Sports.
Ready to watch the best of PBS anytime, anywhere, on nearly any device? It's easy with the free PBS Video app. Simply download the PBS Video app on your mobile or streaming device. Now you can watch the latest PBS episodes or catch up on the shows you missed. And when you support your local station, you can get PBS Passport, giving you access to more episodes, more specials, more of what you love. Get the free PBS Video app now and stream the best of PBS anytime you want, anywhere you are.
Hi, Roger Scott for Big Red Stores. Big Red Stores is proud to support high school athletics and to sponsor these high school championship games. Over 40 Big Red Stores are located throughout Central Arkansas, each one staffed with our team members who have participated in games, marched in the band, or led the spirit teams in cheers. And now we are pleased to bring families, schools, and communities together. Big Red Stores, now more convenient than ever. Enjoy the games.
Welcome back into the 6A state championship game. Searcy strikes first. They've got a 7-0 lead. And starting on Monday, you can relive all the action and watch all the championship games at aetn.org/sports. Searcy strikes first. Let's send it back to the sidelines. Eric Sullivan.
Yeah, guys, a lot of talk about would Searcy, would it be too big for them not being in the state finals since 1984, but you get an electrifying interception by Daniel Perry in the back of the end zone, one-handed, one of the best I've ever seen, and then some electrifying running by Damian Young. And, hey, the moment looks like it's just fine with them to get on the board first. Let's see how Benton responds here on this drive.
Kickoff out of bounds on the kicking tees. Ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
Yeah, it's amazing how much an early score and an early lead will help settle the nerves.
Yeah. And they faced some true adversity there after giving the ball back, or giving the ball up on their third play. So now the pressure on the team that's been here.
Well, they fell behind big last week against West Memphis, did the Benton Panthers, so a deficit of just 7. Not going to really affect them too much here early in the first quarter.
So Garrett Brown goes back to work at quarterback. The give is to Casey Johnson. Johnson up the middle to the 39, and his forward progress is going to be stopped there. Get about 4 yards depending on the spot. Stop made by Sawyer Jackson, a senior linebacker for Searcy.
Yeah, Benton's relying on that front so far. They've run 8 plays. They've ran it 7 times. They're content with just running the football and see if Searcy's defensive line can hold up.
They're going 5 wide this time. Brown, quick release, and a strike for the first down to Peyton Hudgens. And Hudgens is into Searcy territory.
Yeah, nice catch by Hudgens there, number 47 on the season for him. He's another go-to weapon for Garrett Brown. A nice strike just a little bit behind him, but he's able to do some damage after the catch, and they're quickly across midfield.
And they'll go hurry up with the no huddle. Screen pass. In trouble is Hudgens. And he's going to go down. They may lose a yard, maybe even 2 on that.
Sawyer Jackson just blew that up. He saw the screen coming. He took out the lead blocker. He doesn't get credit for the tackle, but he definitely made the play. Took out 2 Benton blockers.
2nd down and 12 coming up. Brown a 60% completion percentage on the year. Johnson is with him in the backfield. Flag goes down at the snap of the football. Brown all day to throw, and he fires another strike into the teeth of that Searcy defense. It's incomplete. Intended for Braxton Slaughter.
They're going to get Benton for an illegal shift. The running back started the move, wasn't supposed to go in motion while the receiver was moving, and neither one of them completely reset for the full second that they're supposed to. So Searcy's got a decision to make. Make it 3rd and 12 or 2nd and 17.
Illegal shift on the offense. 2 men moving, not set before the snap. That penalty is declined. 3rd down.
I think I'd probably decline it too. 3rd and 12.
Yeah, anytime you got 3rd and double digits, you'll take that.
Searcy shows a linebacker blitz, and Brown is going to look to change the play. They'll fake it to Johnson, and that pass is tipped twice and then caught, and that's going to be a short gain. It'll still be 4th down. And maybe Brown actually caught the ball after it was tipped twice by Searcy defenders. That one, fortunate not to be picked off of your Benton.
Yeah, maybe Garrett Brown's first career reception from himself. Wow. But again, a dangerous play. Nice job by Searcy to get his hands up, and 4th and 11. We'll see the punt team for the first time.
Yep.
Preston Barker on the punt for the Panthers.
Preston Barker, 32.4 yards per punt average on the year. And this one is straight up into the air. He did not get a hold of that one. Wow.
Yeah,
almost had backspin on it.
That's a 12-yard punt. Be real thrilled with that. Searcy, another big defensive stop. And their offense, who had a lot of momentum after that last drive. Bryce Dixon goes back to work, a perfect 5 of 5 passing and a 7-0 lead.
The athletes, coaches, and parents for all the hard work and the winning spirit that brought you to the playoffs.
Mark Kelly is the coach of the Lions in his 5th season, compiled a 43-17 record. They go right back to the air to Marlon Crockett. And Crockett has a first down catch at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, that's when you can rely on a 6'4" receiver, because Travion Maxwell was right there for Benton in coverage, but just out of his reach. He does make the tackle, but a first down, and Crockett's already making a big impact on this game.
The handoff to Young. Damian Young shakes out of a tackle and gets an 8 to the 46-yard line of the Panthers. Gianni Vanucci again with the stop for Benton.
Second down.
Haven't seen a whole lot of negative plays so far from this Searcy offense. They're moving forward, whether it's the running game or the passing game. They're having success pretty much up and down the field so far.
They'll stay with Young. Young bounces off a tackle, skips out of another. First down, heading to the sidelines. A flag is down, and he will step out of bounds at the 25-yard line. We'll see if this was a downfield hold here.
That's a nice run and a nice job to bounce from the outside. Benton not doing a very good job of wrapping up and allowing yards after contact. This one's going to come back a little bit. Still going to be close to a first down for Searcy, but they're having some success pounding the rock.
Damian Young, meantime, getting some action here in the first quarter. He's a 640-yard rusher on the year, but Johnson Guthrie is a 1,000-yard rusher. We may note that he came off the field limping in that first series and hasn't been back out there, so it's been a steady dose of Young since that point.
Yeah, and he's having some success, too, so if it's working, go back to it. We saw that a lot last night in the 7A state championship game. It was supposed to be Ahmad Adams, but it ended up being Anderson.
Blocking the back on the offense. A 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. The play results in a first down.
You know, just because it's the state championship game and he got you here, if you get kind of ride the hot hand. That's what Searcy's doing right now. They do get the first down, though, despite the penalty.
But instead of at the Benton 25, it's going to be at the Benton 43 because of that penalty.
Following the penalty.
Net of minus 18, but you'll still take the fresh set of downs.
Dixon sets up, unloads, upfield, and it's incomplete. Good coverage that time, intended for Tanner Leonard, but it was knocked away by Austin Drury.
It's a nice job by Drury to get a hand in there. Maybe the backhand might have caused a little contact before the football got there, but a good no call, I believe, by this officiating crew. Kind of live to see another down. Hey, if you want to catch, fans can go to M&M Productions to purchase their copy on DVD of this game. Go to mnmproductions.net.
Damian Young gets the pass and takes it across the 40 down to the 39-yard line. It's about a 4-yard pickup, so it's going to make a manageable third down here for the Lions. Brett Barbary with the stop for the Benton Panthers.
Yeah, these are those critical moments, because this is probably maybe 4-down territory if you're Searcy. We'll have to see how much they like to trot the punter out there, but you know, if they get 4 yards here, maybe you go for it.
Dixon, plenty of time. Downfield, connects at the 10-yard line, and a touchdown-saving tackle made at the 7. Tanner Leonard with the catch. And the Lions have first and goal. Austin Drury with the stop, but a 31-yard pass for Searcy.
They got those 4 yards and 27 more. The Searcy passing attack's having a lot of success between the hashes. It's the second time they've been able to hit a skinny post and get down there and inside the 10-yard line one more time.
Marlon Crockett is going to take the Wildcat snap, and Crockett is going to lose some yardage. He may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but we think he loses a yard on that run. Stop made by Jaden Woolbright, leading tackler on this team out of his linebacker spot for Benton. Marlon Crockett getting a lot of attention. He is a Division I talent, just a junior. Certainly looks the part. Now Dixon back in at quarterback, and Damian Young is the back with him. We close in on a minute left in the first quarter. Dixon towards the sidelines, in the end zone, touchdown! Dallas Loftus hauls it in. And Searcy has a 2-touchdown lead.
It's generally never good when you've got two receivers in the same area of the end zone, but he made it work there. It just looks like he overthrew his receiver, but it lands right in the hands. A perfect throw to the back of the end zone. And this Searcy offense is really clicking. Get this, Scott. 9 of 10 passing for Bryce Dixon, 114 yards. And the Lions now have a 14-0 lead.
The extra point by Clegg is good. For Loftus, it's just his 3rd touchdown catch of the season. But it comes in the state championship game. Let's go down to the sidelines and check in with Eric.
Scott, while Searcy very happy to be up 14-0, great passing catch there. Some very, very bad news for Johnson Guthrie. I've been told they evaluated him in the locker room, and he has a torn ACL. So this Searcy line group will certainly be playing for him, just like Ben's playing for their guy, Gavin Walls. But I just got word from the Searcy folks that Johnson Guthrie, 1,000-yard running back, is out for the season, or out for the game for sure with the torn ACL. But Damian Young's really going to have to step his game up, and he has so far.
All right, Eric. Well, thanks for that report. We wondered why we hadn't seen him back up there. He'd been limping out after that first carry.
Yeah, 1,089 yards coming in this game, 15 touchdowns. Obviously a productive back. That's a tough blow for this Searcy offense.
Clegg to kick off, and he pooches a sky kick. Fair caught at the 38-yard line. Boy, Searcy has definitely faced their share of adversity here in the early going, losing their 1,000-yard rusher, fumbling the football on the opening possession, but they've got a 14-0 lead.
Yeah, a lot of times you see a team who's making their first appearance in a really big football game like this. Benton's been here before. They've played in front of 30,000 people, but it's Searcy who's really settled in front of this huge home crowd that they've got.
All right, Garrett Brown, the junior quarterback for the Panthers, played in this game last year. Handoff goes to Johnson, and Johnson will get 2 or 3 yards on the carry. You remember Garrett Brown was forced into action as a sophomore last year due to a quarterback injury. Played well enough to end up splitting time the rest of the season and was the quarterback in the state championship game a year ago against Greenwood.
Yeah, Benton needs an answer. There's still plenty of time left in this football game. They need to get a little confidence going for their offense, and more importantly, maybe keep that defense on the sideline for a bit.
Brown's going to look to the sidelines for a change of the play. This could be the final play of the first quarter. They're going to throw it to the right side. It's caught by Slaughter. Braxton Slaughter has got a first down into Searcy territory. Slaughter's 40th catch of the year, 17 yards on the game.
That's a perfectly thrown ball right in the middle of 3 defenders in the zone, and he finds a little hole, and now Benton on the move again to the 40.
They're going to snap the football before the quarter ends. Handoff Casey Johnson. Johnson, big hole. Cuts it back inside the 30, and he's down close to the 25-yard line on the final play of the first quarter. A 14-yard run by Casey Johnson, and Benton has got it going. Reed Miles on the stop for Searcy. And we've reached the end of the first period. Great start for Searcy. They're up 14-0. We'll be back with quarter number 2 in a moment. You're watching State Football Championships on AETN Sports.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car, to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Cherokee Nation, our people, our culture, our history, our future. To learn more, go to visitcherokeenation.com and say hello to the Cherokee Nation.
You'll find us at the end of a lot of long country roads, covering over 60% of the great state of Arkansas to provide reliable power to over 500,000 homes, farms, and businesses. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, your local energy partners.
John's Honda, your hometown dealer for sales and service of Honda motorcycles, ATVs, Honda generators, and Honda lawnmowers. Family owned and operated since 1967, John's Honda offers factory certified technicians and experienced sales staff.
Well, welcome back into the 6A state championships. 14-0 Searcy after one, but Benton's on the move.
Brown with a quick strike. He connects with Jaden Nash. Nash is knocked out of bounds after a pickup of 5 or 6 yards. He may be getting close to the red zone there, and Benton is, as you said, on the move, and now they are threatening.
You can join the AETN Sports Booster Club at the rookie level for $35 or the All-Star level, which includes AETN Passport, on-demand streaming for $60. Just sign up at aetn.org/sports.
Handoff Casey Johnson, and Johnson is again finding some good push from that offensive line. Big hole up the middle. It's a gain of 4, and that will move the sticks for the Panthers. The stop made for Searcy by Owen Stewart.
They're content running the football. That's rushing attempt number 10 of their 17 offensive plays, and already 9 now for Casey Johnson, who's up to 48 yards here in this first half.
Long look into the sidelines by Garrett Brown. Fakes to Johnson, and now lobs it toward the end zone. He's got a man. It's caught for the Panther touchdown. Benton is on the board. Peyton Hudgens.
It's a great job by Garrett Brown holding it in there. He knew he was about to take a big shot from a Searcy defensive lineman, but he had to wait for his man to break free behind the defense and put just enough air underneath it for his man to make the running catch underneath it. And the Searcy lead's been cut in half.
16-yard touchdown pass. Hudgens gets behind the defense. And Araujo is on for the point after try. It's good.
The extra point is good.
And that 14-point lead just got cut in half. We'll be back to War Memorial Stadium in a moment. You're watching the State Football Championships on AETN Sports.
One of the best things about being a community-focused bank like Centennial is that we encourage our employees to volunteer and give back. That's why our bankers are often seen around town involved in activities that have less to do with money matters and more to do with supporting others. From charity events and disaster relief to Chamber of Commerce and civic activities, we enjoy rolling up our sleeves and helping make our community a better place. See for yourself the difference our local commitment can make. More information available at mile100bank.com. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
This month in Passport, your on-demand library of the best of PBS.
We're all back together and we're not going anywhere. We've tried to be normal and we just can't do it.
Satellites orbiting the Earth can look down at our planet in extraordinary detail.
These and other shows are available with Passport. Become a member of this PBS station, sign in, and start streaming today.
6 plays, 61 yards in a minute and 57 seconds. Peyton Hudgens on the receiving end of a Garrett Brown touchdown pass of 16 yards. And the Panthers get on the board. And you talked about how efficiently they were running the football. That was set up by the run. They had a play fake, and that got Hudgens wide open, Bobby, in the end zone.
Yeah, really nice job to answer by Benton. They needed to get something going their way. They got 2 positive plays right before the end of the first period and able to cap it off in the first minute of the second quarter.
Araujo kicks it off. It'll be fielded by Tanner Leonard. He's going to bring it up the sidelines and get knocked out of bounds at about the 22-yard line.
Stop made by Braxton Slaughter.
Braxton Slaughter makes the stop for Benton. It's an 18-yard return.
Eric Sullivan's down there. Looks like he wants to say something, so I guess we'll let him. Eric, what's going on?
Hey, guys, isn't it kind of wild that Peyton Hudgens was the quarterback of Benton last year, and he catches a touchdown pass as a receiver from his buddy Garrett Brown? Shows a lot about their teammate and their friendship. Some guys would have been jealous that they weren't the quarterback. Peyton Hudgens decided to go all out as a wide receiver, and he's caught a touchdown in a state championship game, guys.
All right, Eric, thanks. And another ball up for grabs there briefly as the pass does wind up being complete to Griffin Love for 3 yards, but Love, it bounced off his shoulder pads and was nearly picked off, but he hauls it in, and there's a Panther down.
Yeah, a fortunate bounce there for Love and Searcy, because that one really just bounced right up in the air, but able to corral it and turn what could have been a really big negative play into a minimal gain.
Monterio Mack, spur linebacker for the Panthers, the man down, number 34.
It's right through his hands and off his face mask. Looked like bounced right up, though. Sometimes you don't get that bounce, but Love lucky.
Yeah, he was in on the tackle, was Mack. It looked like maybe Griffin Love came down on top of him. You hope maybe that he just got the wind knocked out of him here, but we'll see. They're going to try to get him up pretty quickly. Yeah, he looks like he's okay.
The injured Panther, Ontario Mack.
Mack, a 5'8", 150-pound senior.
We'll see what Searcy can do now. We've seen Benton answer. Searcy was able to bounce back from their turnover in that first period. We'll see if the offense can keep rolling.
Bryce Dixon, a 59% completion percentage. He's a good thrower. Slings it out, caught by Leonard. Leonard has got the first down for the Lions and more, but there's a penalty marker down.
Tell you what, these two quarterbacks have a pretty good arm, but that back judge just let that hanky fly from about 40 on a rope. That was impressive. I don't know if we do replays of officials, but man.
He's been working, been practicing on that. And it is coming back.
Normally the officials like to lollipop him out there. That one was on a frozen rope.
On the offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, second down.
You say it came from the back judge?
Came from the back judge.
Well, let's give him some credit. Just Jason Harris is our back judge
Jason
tonight.
Harris showing off the cannon. Now, don't throw any more flags. Last time I'm talking about you.
It's conditional.
Exactly.
Conditional praise.
Following the penalty, it's second down for the Lions.
It's going to be second down and 16. Bryce Dixon, good time. Fires sidelines, and he just threw it away.
It's a great job by the Searcy offensive line. Gave his quarterback plenty of time. Benton only brings 3 rushers, but dropping 8 in coverage were the Panthers and able to bottle everyone up.
Well, they had a pass break up on that last drive. They're winning some battles out there.
A lot of football left in this game.
Yeah.
Now 3rd and 16. Benton's defense got a chance to give their offense pretty good field position as they picked up a little momentum on their last offensive drive.
Dixon looking left. Has a man. It's complete to Crockett. Crockett's good in open space. He's got a Searcy first down.
What a great play by Crockett. You understand the scramble rules in football. Your quarterback rolls out. Sometimes you automatically go deep. Sometimes you break back towards the quarterback. Crockett there on the same page with his QB. And it makes a man miss, and a big gain out to the 40-yard line and a fresh set of downs.
Brett Barbary made the stop. Crockett came into this game with 59 catches and 941 yards receiving. He's closing in on 1,000 yards because at the end of the quarter he had 41 receiving yards. Oh, that's a little pre-snap movement, I would say.
4 catches now, 66 yards in the touchdown for Crockett.
There is a flag on the field.
Question was he drawn off?
Snap infraction on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Normally I like to stand up for my offensive linemen. You're on an island out there. They see you move. They get mad. They throw laundry at you. But if you got the ball in your hands and you mess up, well, everybody's staring at you because everybody watches the football.
Yeah, the center picked the football up there.
That's frowned upon.
He paid for it, too, didn't he?
He did.
First down and 15 now. On the ground, Damian Young bounces it outside. What a great run. Young gets to the 45. The football comes loose again. Second fumble.
Damian Young with the carry for the Lions.
Searcy may have gotten it back. They did.
Ball security going to be the talking point. Maybe if they get to halftime, maybe not even that long for Damian Young. Nice run, though. Made a couple guys miss. Benton not making plays in space. Allows Searcy to get back within a manageable down and distance.
Dixon again scrambling to buy time. Now he's in trouble, and he's going to go down at the 44-yard line. That's a 2-yard loss. Brett Barbary is there again. The big defensive end for Benton. 6'3", 245. He's a senior.
Yeah, Caleb Kaufman, number 54, is the first man there. Then Barbary comes by and cleans it up. Nice to see the big defensive lineman for Benton getting out and chasing the quarterback down and preventing a big gain with his legs.
Play is under review.
Well, we're going to get the use of instant replay here.
Yep. So for those who didn't watch the 7A game or the 5A game last night or this morning, there's first year of instant replay in the Arkansas State Championship games.
Planning a road trip for your organization.
Now, the question is, what are we reviewing here?
Yeah, well, Benton was saying that he came out with the football. Barbary came off the ground with the ball in his hand. So we'll have to see on the replay if the ball was moving before they hit the ground or whatever the case may be. Here's a look at it. His knees are down there.
All right. So he does certainly come out with it, and you're not going to be able to see from that angle whether he took it away prior here. Now, this will be a good angle. Well, let's see. His knee's down.
Yeah, it looks like his left knee was down. That was a quick review.
Yep.
After review, ruling on the field is confirmed.
So that's 3 for 3 for this booth and 3 for 3 for the officials to get it right this weekend. They've all been pretty easy calls, though.
Well, you talk about that big defensive lineman there, Barbary. We talked about that in the open, that Searcy's going to have a hard time blocking this line. Damian Young will try to get to the outside, and he does. And he's got the first down. How about that for 3rd and 7?
Yeah, he just beats him to the corner. You know, he's had some success running between the tackles, but that time just a little swing pass to the running back out of the backfield, and he shows off the wheels, beats Benton to the edge. They will get past the sticks.
Ontario Mack makes the stop for Benton, but he looks to have a bit of a speed advantage right now out there. A lot of speed for Damian Young getting to the outside and turning the corner.
That's the key to the long white socks. They make you look a lot faster when you run.
He's not fast? Are you saying he's not fast?
I'm saying he's pretty fast, but he looks really fast with those socks on.
Okay. Plus territory for Searcy at the Benton 46, leading 14-7 midway through the second period. Boy, Dixon under pressure unloads and connects with Crockett, and Crockett breaks a tackle to get first down yardage.
Really impressive start to this football game with Crockett. Not only can he catch the football, that's catch number 5 so far for him for about 80 yards, but he's hard to bring down. He's made a few man miss, and he's taken 5, 6, 7-yard gains into 15 yards like he did there.
Searcy getting the ball out of Dixon's hands quickly with that play call. Damian Young again looking to the outside and getting there. A good open field tackle for the Benton Panthers after a gain of 4. Stop made by Trey Maxwell.
Starting to see a little horizontal passing game now in the running game from Searcy. They're kind of attacking all levels of this Benton defense, and the Panthers are looking for some answers. 14 of 16 now passing is Bryce Dixon.
Crockett now from the Wildcat. Marlon Crockett breaks one tackle and then gets swarmed under at about the 26-yard line. So that's a minimal gain. Well, let's call it 4 or 5 there.
Yeah, they're looking for new ways to get Crockett the football. Number 1 for Searcy is a clear playmaker.
We have another injured player. So an official's timeout here as they tend to a Benton Panther, but he's up quickly. That's Giovanni Vanucci. Let's go down to the sidelines, check in quickly with Eric.
Yeah, Scott, speaking of injured players, I just talked to Gavin Wells, and of course, he broke his foot last week. He says he can't put any weight on it for about 3 months, but is really considering maybe going to Washita or Arkansas Tech to continue his college career. We certainly hope he gets to do that. Really good young man. I enjoyed talking to him.
All right, Eric, thanks very much. I know he hates to be missing this championship game as it's Crockett again on the direct snap out of the Wildcat, and he's got first down yardage, and Searcy's in the red zone. Cade Smith makes the stop for Benton, a 6-yard gain.
Yeah, Crockett just finding ways to get him the football. I mean, he's done it in the running game, done it in the passing game. You like the creativity from Mark Cully. You know, if you got a playmaker, you got to find a way to get him the football, whether it's handing it to him, throwing it to him, or letting him take the direct snap.
Dixon back in now at quarterback. He's going to throw it quickly out into the flat to Love. And Love's inside the 10. That's going to be another Lion first down. Kane Simmons making the tackle from his bandit spot for Benton.
This quick passing game, it's tough to get a quarterback and his receivers off rhythm, but Benton needs to find a way to disrupt something with this Searcy offense. 15 of his first 17 attempts have been completed.
Quarterback keeper, Dixon to the 5. Dixon to the goal line. And he's just short of the end zone. 7-yard gain.
Yeah, haven't seen much of the quarterback run so far, but they spread him out, go 5 wide, motion the running back out to his left, quarterback draw to the right, and they're knocking on the goal line.
Under center, Dixon with a handoff to Damian Young, and he's in for the Searcy touchdown.
They brought in the heavy package there. 2 lead blockers. They look like some offensive linemen. Let's see if we can catch a number on the replay, but he was able to waltz into the end zone almost untouched. 52 and 69. We talked about, we heard Eric mention number 69 with his bench press of 8,000 pounds. D'Amico Whittier, number 69, and 52, Braden Benson led the way for the score.
Ethan Clegg on for the point after.
A little sarcasm, but not much.
He splits the uprights, and it's back to a 14-point lead for the Searcy Lions, making their first state championship appearance since 1984, and they are unfazed by the moment.
Yeah, those 2 big beef eaters up there, I guarantee they've eaten at Corky's a few times. Give a special shout-out to Corky's for ribs and barbecue for their catering. We got shops in Little Rock and North Little Rock, and those 2 have earned some barbecue tonight.
And when you think about passing offenses and going up and down the field in a short amount of time, you don't necessarily think of a 14-play, 78-yard drive that takes up 5 minutes and 3 seconds of the clock, but that's what we just saw.
Yeah, there's not many drives all season long that Searcy's needed that much time or that many plays. But I'll tell you what, it was methodical. Benton did a nice job of limiting the big play, but they weren't able to get the big play when they absolutely needed it.
Let's check in with Eric.
Scott and Bobby, don't be jealous. Searcy's finest, the police department, are providing coffee down on the field, and we certainly need it. Guys, we feeling good about this one?
Yeah, Benton's a good team, but I think Searcy can take this.
All right, is there anybody in Searcy tonight?
I don't believe so.
They're all here, right?
They're all right here.
All right, thanks for the coffee, boys. I just wanted to share that with you guys, and I'm not bringing you any up there, by the way.
It's fine.
That's all right. We're warmer than you are.
Yeah, and keep the police down there, too.
Yeah, hey, that's why the Searcy Police Department's here. There's nobody.
Everything's paid up, I promise. They've done nothing wrong.
All right, so that short kickoff is going to give the Panthers great field position now. They'll start at the 49-yard line, trying to dig into a 14-point deficit. Hand off to Casey Johnson, and Johnson gets off the right side. Good yardage on first down. Pick up a 4.
If you've got it in the playbook, if you're Benton, this will be that perfect time for that 4.5 minute drive. Really help bleed this clock down, chip away at that advantage for Searcy, because you got to remember Benton should get the football to start the second half, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Searcy got it first, coughed it up on the 3rd play, then intercepted Benton in the end zone. It's Johnson again, Casey Johnson, a shifty run inside the 45-yard line, down to about the 42. We'll call it the 40. Well, it's the 42 and a half. How about that? Right in between. Hayden Miles, made the stop from his linebacking spot.
Yeah, busy day already for Casey Johnson. 11 carries for the Benton running back. They're going to rely on number 9 to get their offense going and give him a 3rd and short like he's got right now.
3rd and a yard and a half. Hand off to Johnson, and Johnson gets the first down.
A little extra window dressing on that one. They send Peyton Hudges, the big receiver, in motion, but still just a straight handoff to Johnson, and he picks up the first down. And Clock's moving.
Owen Stewart made the stop for Searcy. And the Panthers keep the drive alive. Brown on the RPO to Johnson. Around the edge. Knocked out of bounds.
A big hit on the sideline.
Yeah, I wonder if he was hit late there. It sure looked from here he might have been hit late, but there's no flag. He is going to be marked down at the 32-yard line. Brandon Benson knocking him out of bounds. It's a 6-yard pickup.
That's a clean hit. Nice play.
Yeah.
On the far sideline. Yeah, Braden Benson. We've called his name a few times already.
Brown swings it out left side. Johnson does a good job adjusting to make the catch. And he's going to have the first down at the 28-yard line. Owen Stewart again makes the stop. Chains move again for the Benton Panthers.
That's a play Searcy's used a few times. Just run the fullback, or the running back out to the flat, throw it to him really quickly, get the ball to the playmaker in space, and now Benton uses the same play, picks up a first down.
Brown changes the play again. Little tunnel screen to wide receiver Cameron Harris. And Harris is inside the 20-yard line.
It's a well set up screen pass coming back to the middle of the field. You see those defensive linemen break free. You got to break down. They don't. Allows the offensive line for Benton to get up to that next level and pick up 9.
Brown's got time. He's going end zone, and he overthrew his intended receiver, Cameron Harris.
Harris did a great job of getting off the line. They're in press man-to-man coverage there. Used a little swim move, had help over the top, did the defense. But there's a window there for Harris in the corner of the end zone, but he's overthrown. Seen a lot more man-to-man coverage in these state championship games so far this weekend than you really expect to see at the high school level.
Well, they've done a pretty good job. Like I said, the secondary in this game, secondary in the game earlier today, did a good job in pass coverage. Here's Johnson on 3rd and a yard. He's got the first down, and he
lost the football.
Had the touchdown, but he fumbled it right before he crossed the goal line. It's recovered by Daniel Perry, and Benton turns it over inside the 1.
Can you say Daniel Perry, early MVP? He makes the interception on the first drive of the game for Benton, and right before he crosses the goal line, look at this, just rips it out and corrals the football before it goes into the end zone. The sophomore making 2 huge plays to save 14 points.
Oh, he was going for the 6. He had it in his sights.
That's a great defensive play. You know he's about to score, tackles the football. It's exactly how they teach it. Outstanding play by the sophomore.
Oh, second red zone turnover for the Benton Panthers in this game, and they are still down 14. Now Bryce Dixon and company back to work, and that's incomplete. Not exactly sure who he was trying to get it to. Tanner Leonard was closest to it, but 2 receivers really bunched up together there.
Yeah, Daniel Perry saved 14 points, like you said. The interception in the first quarter, the forced fumble and recovery in the second. He's making himself a name early in his career.
So here you're 99 yards away. You've got a 14-point lead with 3:08 left on the clock. That's still quite a bit of time.
It is, especially the way these two teams play the offense.
But you certainly don't want to make a mistake here if you're Searcy. You got all the momentum and a 14-point lead. Here's Dixon out of his own end zone. Fires complete to Griffin Love. And Love is going to be marked down at the 11, call it the 12-yard line, and that's going to be an 11-yard pickup. So that does move the chains and allows Searcy to run some more clock time.
Those 2 play calls when you're backed up against the goal line shows a lot of faith in the offensive line, because a penalty at that point, it happens in the end zone at the safety. So nice job by Mark Kelly in that offensive front to give his quarterback some time.
Not much fear of anything out of this Searcy bunch tonight. Handoff Damian Young. Young is hammered to the turf at about the 16-yard line. Still gets a positive gain, 4 yards on the run. Bryce Gallagher makes the stop from his middle linebacking spot for Benton.
Second down.
Looks like Young's a little slow to get up, but he's going to stay in the game. You see there the red zone appearances. Both teams have been inside the 23 times. Benton's only scored once because they've turned it over the other 2 times. That's the difference in the game right now. Over the middle, wide open is Leonard, and Leonard is off to the races, out to midfield before he's finally brought down.
A lot of success between the numbers, between the hash marks for both of these offenses. And Bryce Dixon able to thread the needle right down the middle of this Benton defense, and now they're out midfield. And now what started on the 1-yard line is now just 50 yards away from the end zone.
A 34-yard pass and catch. Cade Clark on the stop for Benton. And now Searcy in total control of the clock and the possession. Dixon on first down. Thought about running it. Instead, zips it over the middle of the field. It's complete to Griffin Love.
Nice job by Love to find a hole in the zone to set down, and his quarterback Dixon hit him right there. Keeps the clock moving, keeps you in front of the chains. It's hard to do. Throw it back across your body, roll to the right, throw back to your left, but hit him right above the numbers.
He does it well. Both these quarterbacks do a good job of throwing on the run. Dixon on second and short. Deep drop. And now the deep ball. He's got his man, and it's incomplete. In and out of the hands of Griffin Love.
Oh, great coverage again by Austin Drury. The second time we've called his name in coverage. Able to get the hand between the hands of the receiver and gets that ball out.
Boy, that one was put right on the money, too.
Yep, that's a great...
Had a little bit of separation, just enough, but like you said, good play by the defensive back.
Yeah, AETN is proud to bring you the high school football state finals live. We're going to be back in March with the basketball finals, and new this coming May, baseball and softball on AETN.
Dixon's going to keep it himself. He's short of the first down, and there's a flag down in the offensive backfield.
Yeah, you hate to see that. That's a really poor throw by the official there as well. The flag's a little loose. It's kind of fluttered out there.
Not as tight. Trey Maxwell made the tackle for the Panthers.
Holding on the offense.
Well, it's going to be fourth down. So let's see what Benton wants to do.
Yeah, it's decision time. You go 3rd and 15 or 4th and 5. How much faith do you have in your defense if you're Brad Harris?
On the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay 3rd down.
That's interesting. So they're going to take the penalty and make them do 3rd down over again. Yeah, otherwise, it would have been 4th down, but you also don't know Searcy's going to punt the football.
Right,
might go for it.
Well, the way this offense has really hit those short passing routes, or even the way they've run the football, 4th and 5, maybe a little too close to comfort for Harris.
The clock will start again. Neither team has used a timeout in this entire half. And we're closing in on a minute to go.
And the key for Searcy here is try to keep the football and try not to give it back to Benton, but they're well behind the chains.
They're going to throw it on 3rd and long. At least that was the intent. Now Dixon's going to run for the first down. Beats one Panther and then a second, but he's going to be snowed under. About 3 or 4 yards shy of the first down.
That's a great job by Dixon, not only to pick up some extra yardage, but he stays in bounds. So keeps the clock running. Now they're facing a 4th down. Really put some more pressure on the Benton defense, which is not going to take a timeout. We'll see what Searcy wants to do with just 30 seconds left in this first half.
Yeah, they're going to have to snap it with about 9 seconds to go. Actually about, 9 or 10 seconds left if they want to take it down that low. Play clock is down to 8.
Yeah, looks like they're going to burn the timeout when it gets to 1.
Yeah, that's probably about what you have to do. I was thinking maybe the play might take the rest of the time, but you're not really guaranteed that.
That's right.
Searcy.
So they'll take a timeout with 10 seconds to play.
Yeah, even near midfield, a pass to the end zone may only take 6, 7, 8 seconds at the most, which would give Benton a chance to run at least one offensive play.
Well, now I think you'd probably think about punting it away because that may take longer than a play.
Yep.
And you're Benton in their own end, and they've only got maybe 2 seconds at best, right? 2 or 3 seconds to run a play. Because if you don't get 4th down here and you don't take the 10 seconds, you do give Benton a chance to throw a Hail Mary down the field.
Yeah, you give them really good good field position. So with the best case scenario, if you're Searcy, if you're trying not to pick up the first down, you little pooch punt and it rolls, and you wait for it to be blown dead, and maybe that takes the full 10 seconds.
Let's go check in with Eric.
All right, guys, you're talking strategy up there. How about Marlon Crockett and how dominant he's been in this game? Earlier against when Little Rock Christian and PA were playing, I sized myself up with K-Train Gibbons. Well, I tried to size myself up with that young man. I'm thinking 6'5", 200 already. I go deep to him right here. Give him a shot to go get it.
Yeah, Benton's going to burn a timeout to see how Searcy's lining up and a chance to regroup and rethink the call.
Crockett's got 5 catches, 78 yards, and he does have the touchdown. He's also carried it 3 times for 10 yards out of that Wildcat formation. They want to get him as many touches as they can.
Yeah, if you're averaging 8 to 10 touches a half for him, that means the Searcy offense is clicking.
Been a pretty even game so far. The turnovers make the difference. Although Searcy has doubled up. Benton in the yardage department, 316 to 157.
Yeah, you got to think about the 2 drives that Benton had, though. Interception in the end zone, fumble at the goal line. This could easily be a tie football game, but number 2 for Searcy, Daniel Perry, made both plays, and he's the reason the Lions have a 14-point lead at this point.
All right, so both teams have burned one of their timeouts to think about how they're going to play this. But it sure looks like Searcy's going to go for it, unless we get a quick pooch kick here. Bryce Dixon's lined up, and he's going to slant out of the pocket and look for one of his receivers downfield, and it is incomplete. And there are still 5 seconds left, so we'll see. Benton's going to get a chance to throw a Hail Mary if they choose to do it. Leonard was the intended receiver.
Yeah, now if you're Searcy on the defensive side, you got to get over the disappointment, but your offense can't put it in the end zone. You got to watch for the trick plays. You got to watch out for the shenanigans. We saw hook and lateral earlier today.
Saw a lot of shenanigans.
Yeah, we did. Pulaski Academy pulled out all the stuff. They did. So at this point, if you're Searcy, you got to make sure you keep everything in front of you. I would imagine we're going to see, after a Searcy timeout, 3 or 4 defenders at least 30 yards from the football.
I don't know if they're listening to our broadcast when I said they hadn't burned a timeout. Maybe I made them aware of that. We can't take these with us, guys. Let's
announcer jinx are real.
Let's burn them.
More so than no hitters as well.
Yeah. Well, what do you think if you're Benton?
I think you take a shot, maybe a screen. You know, you come out, you see if Searcy's dropping everybody back. Maybe you sneak your running back, Casey Johnson, out into a flag, get some linemen out in front, and if you're really crazy, you start the lateral play. Miami Dolphins, who had so much success against last year against the Patriots.
When's the last time you saw that in high school football? Do you see it very often, as much as you cover?
Some. You know, last year Charleston was able to win a football game. I believe it was against Ozark. Had 5 laterals in the last play of the game. Were able to go about 60 yards and score. So you don't see it successful very often. But they still try it.
Especially because it's probably done in desperation most of the time.
Absolutely,
right?
exactly.
PA did it today. It wasn't really in desperation.
Yeah.
They had a big lead.
Yeah, you flash back, I believe it was 2007. I'm across the border as Poto, Oklahoma lost the state semifinal. 30 seconds left, gave up an 80-yard hook and lateral.
Oh, wow.
And that's how they got beat in the state semifinals.
Wow. That's a finish. All right, let's see what happens. Garrett Brown with one last chance, and they're going to keep it on the ground. It's going to be Johnson, and this will be the final play barring penalty. He'll be knocked out of bounds at the 39-yard line, and that's going to do it.
Going to look good on his stat sheet, but really inconsequential play. Going to put him over 100 yards for the game, but his Panthers down by 2 scores.
Red zone scoring. I think that's the big number here in this first half. Searcy's been there 3 times and has 3 touchdowns. Benton's been there 3 times, and they have 1 touchdown and 2 turnovers.
Yeah, that's the story of this game. You've got to be able to finish. It's the key moments, the critical junctures of a football game that's really determined. You see all the time the box score stats don't line up. Okay, why is this football game close? Why was this a blowout? Turnovers are the biggest reason why, because this really should be a 21-21 football game, but 2 huge huge defensive plays by the Searcy defense, were able to keep the Lions out in front.
Eric Sullivan's ready, standing by with Mark Kelly.
All right, Coach Shelley, first of all, you lost Johnson Guthrie. Is your team a little bit, are they playing for him tonight as well as, of course, trying to win a state championship?
Oh, yeah, that was still especially on the first play. But, I mean, our guys are fighting their guts out, and they're excited for the second half.
You had 2 red zone forced turnovers. But you got to have stuff like that to win a state title, don't you?
Yeah, that's big, and both of them, Daniel Perry, I mean, just a phenomenal football player that makes big plays in crucial times.
All right, you got Dixon really running the show at quarterback for you. You obviously want to maintain that in the second half. Any other adjustments you feel like you have to make?
Oh, we've got to run the ball a little bit better. Their defense front is really good. We just got to try to maintain some running game.
Coach, good luck in the second half. All right, Scott and Bobby, back up to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Eric. We'll take a break and be back to War Memorial Stadium in just a moment. Searcy leading 21-7 over the Benton Panthers at the break. You're watching the State Football Championships on AETN Sports.
I took astronomy from Carl Sagan in 1977. The guy had a huge influence on me. Cosmos on PBS was Carl Sagan's lectures with fabulous graphics.
Bill Nye, the science guy.
PBS and I are a perfect match. It's just wonderful programming, not just for kids, but for all of us.
Carry on. Don't you people have school to work on?
As time passes and the years go by, change is something we all experience. But no matter how the world changes from year to year, the one thing that will never change is the true meaning of Christmas. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. May your holidays be filled with joy and blessings. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from all of us at Everett.
Well, when you think back to the way this game started and Searcy gets the football first and they're making their first state championship appearance since 1984 and they fumble the football on the third play of the game, you're thinking, oh, this could be trouble. Yeah. But look at the way they came back.
That's usually the recipe for disaster. An early turnover in a state championship game, you fall behind. But you heard Coach Kelly talk about 2 forced turnovers in the red zone, and their quarterback, Bryce Dixon, has been on a clinic in the passing game, 18 of 23.
It's our first look at their receiver, who's a big-time player, Marlon Crockett.
Yeah, and he's impressive. Not only catching the football, but what he does with the football in his hands, because normally you see a 6'4", 190-pound receiver, they go down on first contact. He's not going down on first contact. He's making guys miss in the open field and making Benton get him on the ground, which has been easier said than done.
For the Panthers, I think in the locker room there's plenty to be encouraged about. You move the football, you just got to finish.
That's right. They do 2 turnovers. So they forced a turnover themselves. They set their offense up for a short field. They couldn't take advantage. They get a long drive, could not take advantage of that one. All he has to do, if you're Brad Harris in that locker room, say, guys, we just finished drives. This is a tie football game.
Well, the Panthers will get the football first when we get the third quarter underway, but it's time for more halftime on the other side of this break. Stay tuned for the AETN Halftime Show with Ed Leon, AETN's Chief Operating Officer, as we take a look at 8-man football in Brinkley, and we'll move off the physical field and into the virtual with eSports. Hey, you're watching the State Football Championships on AETN Sports.
Community-focused bank like Centennial is that we encourage our employees to volunteer and give back. That's why our bankers are often seen around town, involved in activities that have less to do with money matters and more to do with supporting others. From charity events and disaster relief, the Chamber of Commerce and civic activities, we enjoy rolling up our sleeves and helping make our community a better place. See for yourself the difference our local commitment can make. More information available at MountainHunterBank.com. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Cherokee Nation, our people, our culture, our history, our future. To learn more, go to visitcherokeenation.com and say hello to the Cherokee Nation.
You'll find us at the end of a lot of long country roads, covering over 60% of the great state of Arkansas to provide reliable power to over 500,000 homes, farms, and businesses. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, your local energy partners.
John's Honda, your hometown dealer for sales and service of Honda motorcycles, ATVs, Honda generators, and Honda lawnmowers. Family owned and operated since 1967, John's Honda offers factory certified technicians and experienced sales staff.
Hey everybody, welcome inside halftime at AETN Studios. I'm your host, Ed Leon. We hope you're enjoying our broadcast of the state football finals from War Memorial Stadium. We have a very musical halftime show set up for you, including a story about a player who is making his mark dropping beats. All right, but first let's talk about the marching band at Little Rock's Hall High School. It was once a powerhouse in the state, but in recent years, the music had stopped for the once proud show band. Now a dedicated band director is bringing it back with a vision to recapture its former glory.
Walking into the band room on the first day during the summer, I saw a bunch of used instruments in a big old pile in the band room. Saw old drum shells, busted heads, uniforms from I think back in the 70s or the 80s. And so I was like, man, I've got to build a band program.
That's when Mr. Moore came in. Now, believe it or not, I actually had a deep feeling it was going to be like a whole change. It seemed like he already, got it all together. He already got it structured to where he wanted things to be. And, I'm like, okay, so this is a great leader.
How many of y'all think you're ready for college? Raise your hand. Right, there you go. You ain't ready, but how many of you want to go to college? So what you got to do between now and then? Get ready. All right.
The Hall High School band program is called the Marching Warrior Tribe 100. And that 100 is to represent a large size band. If you can put the vision in the minds of people, they'll catch it. I always tell people you can't teach a vision. The vision can't be taught, it has to be caught. So when they think 100, they think massive. And that's where we want to take this band. We want to take it from 28 members when I first started to 100. And even if we don't get to that 100, if we get 80 students, we're doing a great job. The rebuild, which is a hashtag that we use on the back of our marching, our travel suits, our band warm-ups, and it's called The Rebuild. And it's basically taking what once was a strong powerhouse music program and bringing it back to its glory days, so to speak. And so that was the objective when I first walked into the band room. I said, we've got to make this thing back to where it once was. For just the second year, it's been phenomenal. We have a full-fledged jazz orchestra. We got that in the first year. We went from 7 students to 16, and this is year 2 for the jazz program as well. So the rebuild is going great.
Do you know how it feels like when you first light that firecracker, and then it just boom, and it's a big firecracker and just boom. Like that's how I feel every time I walk into the band room. On my down days and on my good days, that's how I always feel.
Being a part of the band or any of the visual performers is great because it stimulates the brain. It causes you to be creative. It shows you what you have on the inside of you. It teaches you communication. It teaches you collaboration. You have to learn how to work within a section. So the band is the family-based, I tell them FOE, family over everything. And so it's no matter what's going on, know that family's there.
He really did make all this happen. If we keep pushing, we're gonna get better. We're really gonna get better. And if it weren't for him, the band wouldn't be what it would. There wouldn't be no jazz band. There wouldn't be, parades like that. There wouldn't be special events. There wouldn't be, people rising as leaders, people, tapping into their full potential. It wouldn't be any of that. So I thank him for that.
We wish them all the best. That hashtag, once again, is #TheRebuild. All right, I want to take a moment to tell you about a new membership program here called the AETN Sports Booster Club that supports our broadcast of the state finals, not only in football, but also basketball, baseball, and softball, as well as all those Arkansas sports stories that we aired during the games, like the one you just saw about the band. Well, we have two levels of support here. The first one's called the Rookie Membership, and it includes a one-year membership and your choice of several gifts that we have available for you. We got socks, mugs, water bottles. This is a blanket. It's your choice. Fantastic gifts. And the AETN magazine that keeps you looped in on everything happening in Arkansas Public Television. Then there's the All-Star Membership, and now this one is $60. It includes all the benefits of the Rookie Membership, plus a one-year subscription to AETN Passport, which is a membership benefit that allows you to stream all your favorite AETN and PBS programs on demand, anytime, and on any device. So you can binge watch Nova, Masterpiece, great performances, even our sports segments on AETN Passport. Here's how you become a member of the AETN Sports Booster Club. You go to aetn.org/sports, or you call us. Call us at 1-800-662-2386. And you can choose your thank you gift, and you can help support the live sports finals broadcasts here on AETN. They're statewide, and everybody can't make it to the games, and this is our way of helping support high school sports in Arkansas. aetn.org/sports, or call us at 1-800-662-2386. All right, let's move on to a player profile. Snapping the football comes naturally to Jacob Ragsdale, center for the Shiloh Christian Saints. But so does dropping a beat. That's because Jacob has a musical alter ego as a composer, beats maker, and electronic music producer, who his classmates call DJ Rags.
Right here, this is my DJ controller. And what's cool is you can lay down like 2 tracks at the same time. I've been playing football since 6th grade. The center, he is on the offensive line, and he is the one who snaps the ball every single play. It's very much a mental game. You'll see like a certain defense, like strength to one side. You'll have to like call up protection to that, and you know, like pick each other up, like be encouraging, and then also like communicate, you know.
Jacob was able and willing to stand up and lead our football team, and I think the players and the teammates really respect him for that. He wants to be great, and he's got a lot of really, really neat gifts and talents and abilities, and one of those is DJing.
Outside of football and school and all that, it's a very like creative aspect. There's a lot of thought process that goes into it. A lot of experimentation and just, like I said, a lot of tutorials. My cousins, they live out in LA, and they're someone who I think really kind of where my music interest came from.
He's just really taken the bull by the horns and has really developed. And I think we were both shocked when we heard he was putting out an actual album.
The kids at Shiloh were just positive. He actually has his own little texting group of his friends that give him feedback and tell him what they like and, you know, what their favorite is. I really attribute it to the school that we're in because they really try to reinforce that, just not on the field, but off the field. It's just been really helped him, help develop and give him a positive energy to kind of keep going with that.
In football, you've got to learn a lot of things fast and like stay focused, and like every single week you've got a different opponent, so you've got to like notice all the little details. And so for this, it's like there's a lot of like little things and small intricate details that go into just making things sound polished. Just more like the little things that matter, you know. We've got to like recognize like, okay, like what's going on here and like which way do I need to do or what do I need to call.
Jacob's parents told us he is considering medicine or dentistry as a major in college. Meanwhile, DJ Rags assures us no matter what he does, the music won't stop anytime soon. All right, that's going to do it for us here on the Halftime Show on AETN, your home for the Arkansas State Football Finals. On behalf of all the crew here at the studios, let's send it back out to War Memorial Stadium for the second half.
All right, thank you, Ed. As we welcome you back to War Memorial Stadium, the Searcy Lions making their first state championship appearance since 1984. They do have one state title, but you got to go back to 1933 to find it, and they are halfway to a state championship. Benton has a lot to say about that, though. They have a potent offense. We know it's been held down because of turnovers in the first half, but they've got a lot of work to do. 21-7 with about 5 or 6 minutes away from starting the third quarter. Hey, do want to take a minute to honor, as we do at halftime on all of our state championship broadcasts here on AETN, our football scholar athletes of the game. For 6A, we start with Benton High School. Cade Clark is our scholar athlete of the game. He is a cornerback for the Panthers. His field of study will be engineering in college. He has a GPA of 3.97. Way to go, Cade. And Dallas Loftus from Searcy High School. He's wide receiver for the Lions. His field of study will be business, and he has a 4.1 GPA. Congratulations, and way to go, Dallas and Cade. Want to take a look at some of the stats from the first half, too. As we can tell you, the band's actually still out onto the field right now. The Searcy band playing. The Benton Panthers are about ready to get back out, but they've got nowhere to go at this point because the band's still playing. Take a look at the numbers. First downs favor Searcy. Rushing yards favor Benton, and if you remember back to Eric Sullivan's interview with Coach Kelly going off the field, he said he wants to run the football better. They haven't run the ball poorly. They do have 89 yards halfway through the contest, but Benton has the slight edge there, but Searcy wins the battle in passing yards and favorably, considerably in total yards. They have run 13 more plays, and the turnover margin belongs to Searcy +1. But again, that biggest stat of the game for me is the red zone appearances there. And that, of course, is because of the turnovers.
Yeah, the 2 turnovers, the interception in the end zone, and the forced fumble and recovery. All of those plays made by Daniel Perry, the sophomore defensive back for the Lions. And right now, you got as good as the quarterback's playing, he's your MVP because he's the reason Searcy's got that 14-point lead.
You've got the box score. You want to take a look at some individual numbers?
I think you automatically have to go to Marlon Crockett, the receiver for Searcy. What he's been able to do, 5 catches, 78 yards. He's got 3 or 4 carries. On the direct snaps, he's been able to get the football in his hands as many times as they want him to. But what he's been able to do with the football in his hands is what's really been the story.
Yeah, the quarterbacks, you expect them to do well, and they're both having pretty good games as well.
They are, and you're looking at Searcy's quarterback. Bryce Dixon is having a phenomenal afternoon, 18 of 23, 227 yards, has not turned the football over, got the 2 touchdown passes. You see why he's now at 4,000 yards passing for the season. You see why he's got 43 touchdown passes.
Well, you talked about some things the coach talked to us about this week and see how they've played out. I mentioned this early in the broadcast. Coach Kelly, during his interview on Monday during the press conferences with R.J. Hawk from the Buzz, he was talking a little bit about the line matchup and that the defensive line was going to be really tough to block for Benton and that they'd have to double team some of those guys to really get the job done. On a couple of occasions, they pressured the Searcy quarterback, but the offensive line, the game plan has been pretty sound. It's worked really well.
Searcy's held up pretty well. He talked about he wants to run the football a little better. Yep. Searcy's averaging more than 5 yards to carry, so they're having some success, maybe not running as much as he would like. That's something that we'll have to look for, but Benton's defensive line kind of controlled things early. That first drive, when they fumbled, they really controlled those first 3 plays. But from that point, Searcy's front 5 has done a really nice job against that defensive front for Benton and really held their own.
Now, for Benton, their game plan all year long has been a short passing game. Yep. They do run the ball very efficiently. You can look at the numbers and see that, and they've done that pretty well in the first half here, but they want to use that short passing game and get their wide receivers in space. They have a deep wide receiver core, so that makes it very difficult under normal circumstances for a secondary to cover, because if you don't have just one guy you got to worry about, you can't double team anybody, and you can't hold coverage for very long. But for the most part, Searcy's defense has done a pretty good job on that. I think you got to be pretty happy with the way you've performed offensively for Benton. And again, it just comes back to not getting in the end zone.
That's right. You got to take care of the football. Casey Johnson maybe having a little more success than Benton expected. 15 carries, already over 100 yards on the ground in the first half of play here for the Panthers. So maybe that's something you go to. That's the one area they're having a lot of success, averaging nearly 7 yards an attempt is Johnson. Just feed him the rock in the second half.
Yeah, I know there's always going to be some halftime adjustments, but when you think about the way this first half has played out, I don't know that you really need to change a lot if you're either team.
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
been, with the exception of the 2 turnovers that cost 14 points, it's been a really clean game, a really well-played game, and these two teams look pretty even. I mean, they've been the 2 of the best 3 teams in Class 6A for most of the season, and they're looking like it.
All right, let's go down to the sidelines. Eric Sullivan is with the Benton head coach, Brad Harris.
All right, Coach Harris, you had 2 devastating turnovers in the red zone. You don't do that. You're back in this ball game, but what'd you tell your guys to get back in this game? You got the ball first.
Well, that's exactly what we talked about at halftime. We throw a pick, and then we turn it over on the 1 right there. That's the difference in the game. You know, we feel good about our run game right now. Really, everything we're doing offensively, the biggest thing we got to do is get off the field defensively. They do a great job throwing it around. We got to finish tackles and get off the field a little bit quicker.
How big is this first opening drive?
Huge. We got to close it to a 7-point game, 1-score game, and then I feel like that's a lot of momentum right there for us.
All right, Coach, go get him.
Thank you.
Hey, Scott and Bobby, I don't know if you noticed during the warm-ups, I got knocked over by a Benton player. First time in 22 years, but I went down.
So you got to keep your head on your swivel.
I just hope y'all didn't see it or any of the cameras captured it.
No, but I wish I did.
Yeah.
Trust me, the Searcy fans, that's what the applause was for. It wasn't them running out on the field. It was when I got knocked over.
Well, it happens. Age catches up with us all. Eric, thanks very much. So the clock resets to 3 minutes when the teams come back out onto the field, and that happened right when we were pitching down to Eric. So we've still got a couple of more minutes on the clock, although the teams are ready to get back after it.
Yeah, both of the teams came out. They didn't need the full 20 minutes for half. They only took 17. They came out, and what they do is they give the full 20 minutes to the bands, more importantly, and then they give the 3 minutes for teams additional time to warm up. And these two teams are ready to get back at it. They've made their adjustments. But, Brad Harris mentioned you got to get off the field. And one thing that Searcy's been able to have success is those short passes. And we even talked about with Marlon Crockett making guys miss in the open field. They've taken some 5, 6, 7-yard pass routes and turned them into 12 or 14 and allows you to move the chains because Benton's missed some tackles in open space.
Well, you see Coach Harris out on the field because we're not really close to starting, but we may be getting closer now because Searcy's kickoff unit is now onto the field. The kickoff return team for Benton's been out there for quite some time. That's why I said they were ready to go, and now Searcy's ready to go too.
You got a couple chances to watch this game again in the future. You can go to M&M Productions to purchase the DVD copy of today's game. Just go to mmproductions.net, and I think we're in for a really, really good second half here, Scott. In 57 seconds.
Yeah, I was going to say, are they going to make them wait? I don't think they're going to make them wait. It may end up being doubles. Yeah, they are going to make them wait.
Yeah.
The official's not going to give Ethan Clegg the football to put onto the tee. Got to be sticklers for the rules. Somebody does. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, the
players are ready to go.
The hurry up and wait method.
Yeah. All right, then.
Well, we'll stand here and watch it with them. You got time to grab a drink there at home if you want. Let's be back in 26 seconds. Or turn the volume up, one or the other.
I want to give you a score update if you're watching us instead of the Razorback basketball game. The Razorbacks are beating Western Kentucky 50-44 with about 12 and a half left to go.
They were down, 5 or 7 at the half?
They were, yeah. So they've made a comeback. That second half, man, they get into your legs, don't they? The defense just wears you down, and hopefully they can hang on and continue to be undefeated.
Just a quick reminder, starting on Monday, you can relive all the action and watch all the championship games on aetn.org/sports. Watch it there as many times as you want until your DVD comes in the mail.
All right. Now we're set to go for the third quarter. Clegg to kick off, and he's going to pooch kick it again. And it's going to be fielded and returned, but not returned far.
Ball's out.
The ball is out again. And it's a scrum. Benton has picked it back up, and they move it all the way into Searcy territory. I'm not exactly sure how that happened.
Yeah, I'm not sure who's got the ball to come out of that pile. There it is. Benton comes out with it, number 87. Comes out of the pile, Braden Murdoch.
Yeah, because Jaden Woolbright was the upback that fielded it, but it must have taken a really nice bounce right into his hands.
Yeah, here's a look at the replay. Yeah, never really had a great possession of it. Number 43 for Searcy.
I don't think it ever hit the ground.
Yeah, Sawyer Jackson's really one who knocked the ball loose, but Benton catches a huge break, and they get to start this drive on the Lion end of the 50.
That is a big break. They will go to the air right away, and Brown throws incomplete. Boy, he was really hit hard as he was trying to get it to Braxton Slaughter there, number 7.
Yeah, Garrett Osmond came with the pressure, came untouched, and he's made a lot of big plays. These linebackers are all over the field for Searcy, and Brown took a big shot, and that's why that pass was well behind the intended receiver. As soon as the sun's been down for a while, it started to cool off a little bit. Those are the ones you feel a little more.
5 wideouts in the set. Brown steps up in the pocket. Can't make it out of the tackle. He does get positive yardage, but Garrett Osmond brings him down. If he would have broken that tackle, it probably would have been at least a first down, but it's only a 2-yard gain.
And he missed his receiver coming across the formation, had a crosser going right across the middle. That looked like that was Casey Johnson, number 9, or even Cameron Harris, number 8. Tough to tell from our vantage point, but he was wide open.
I don't think we've seen a 3-and-out yet. Can't recall one.
Brad Harris said this was a big drive. This could be 4-down territory as well.
3rd down and 7. Quick throw out into the flat, and they will get the first down. Peyton Hudgens, who caught the touchdown for the Panthers, scurries deeper into Searcy territory. They'll mark him down at the 36-yard line. That's a gain of 11.
That play was made by 7 Braxton Slaughter, then 1 Jaden Nash, the 2 key blocks on the outside on the wide receiver screen, and Benton gets a fresh set of downs.
Very important drive for the Benton Panthers. And the handoff to Johnson, and Johnson gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be it.
It's a big play by the Searcy defense. 52's been all over the field. Braden Benson again making the play near the line of scrimmage.
Stop made by Brandon Benson. It's 2nd down.
There haven't been many negative plays or even plays of no gain for either side of these offenses. These two teams have really done a nice job moving the ball.
Brown on 2nd down. Has time, fires it out complete to the 25-yard line to Jaden Nash. Forward progress should give him the first down.
Yeah, the Benton receivers have done a nice job finding holes in this Searcy defense and kind of finds a little pocket in the coverage there. He's able to sit down, and the quarterback hits him in stride, and it looked like it might have been close to the first down marker, and they go ahead and give it to him.
Brown on the double move towards the end zone, in and out of the hands of Braden Murdoch.
Yeah, the pump and go was there. Pretty well thrown pass, but Murdoch just couldn't make the adjustment. The ball bounces off his hands and falls incomplete.
Well, give a lot of credit to your man, Daniel Perry.
Yeah.
He didn't totally bite on that. He did trail the play a little bit, but he got back again and made it a difficult catch.
At least got a hand in the face of the receiver, and that's really all you can do as a defensive back.
Handoff on the ground, Johnson. And Johnson is brought down shy of the 20-yard line. That's a 4-yard pickup. And it's another big 3rd down play coming up. Owen Stewart, the stop for the Lions.
17 carries, 108 yards for Johnson. He's been the carrying the workload for Benton, but now they're facing 3rd and call it 6.
Brown with a deep drop. The throwback the other way. The screen and the touchdown. Benton. Casey Johnson.
That's a great play design. That was set up perfectly. Garrett Brown rolled to his right, had to wait a little longer to throw the football than he wanted to, but it finally came through, and Casey Johnson, who's been such a weapon on the ground, takes that one. 22 yards for the score, and as Brad Harris said, they needed to make this a 7-point game, and they're an extra point away from doing it.
Brian Araujo on for the point after. It's good, and Benton is back within a touchdown. That was about as good a possession as Benton could have to start this 3rd quarter. We'll take a break and be back to War Memorial after this. You're watching the State Football Championships on AETN Sports.
Amazing, right? Wow, this is awesome.
We did it!
Who knew?
All right.
Solid. Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Cherokee Nation, our people, our culture, our history, our future. To learn more, go to visitcherokeenation.com and say hello to the Cherokee Nation.
You'll find us at the end of a lot of long country roads, covering over 60% of the great state of Arkansas to provide reliable power to over 500,000 homes, farms, and businesses. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, your local energy partners.
John's Honda, your hometown dealer for sales and service of Honda motorcycles, ATVs, Honda generators, and Honda lawnmowers. Family owned and operated since 1967, John's Honda offers factory-certified technicians and experienced sales staff.
Well-designed throwback from Garrett Brown to Casey Johnson. Caps an 8-play, 49-yard drive to start the third quarter, and the Panthers are back to within a touchdown. They have not led in this football game. They fell behind 14-0. It made it 14-7. It was 21-7 at the break. Now it's 21-14.
It's a big start to the half by the offense. We'll see if the Benton defense has made the adjustments and slowed down the Searcy offense that had so much success in the first 24 minutes.
Araujo kicks it deep. It's going to be fielded at the 1-yard line by Leonard, and he stumbles out of bounds at the 2.
You always want to make a play in the state championship game, but sometimes your will and your want to gets in the way of your head. Maybe not the best decision to make the play right near the coffin corner. Catches the football and immediately goes out of bounds. Couldn't stop the momentum, and this is what the Benton defense really needed and what Searcy needed to avoid.
Let's check in with Eric.
Scott and Bobby, when the Anthony Harper and Gavin Wells went down, the coaches went to Casey Johnson and said, "Hey, you're our guy. You're our bell cow." And man, as he really turned it on this ball game, and you both alluded to it, what a great play call there. Had everybody fooled on the backside screen, and that young man has got to carry them for the next 2 quarters on that running game where they can get. They're already back in the game. Maybe they can get it tied, but he's going to be a big part of that.
Well, they're no longer backed up. Bryce Dixon swings it out to Damian Young, a 17-yard gain, and they're right back at the 19 now. And another quick hit. This one thrown too low for Griffin Love, though.
The thing that really sticks out to me, Scott, is Searcy's run 3 plays from their own goal line. All 3 have been pass plays.
Yeah.
It's a lot of faith in an offensive line.
Second and 10. They'll hand it off to Young. And Young turns it back upfield again and gets it to the 25-yard line. 6-yard pickup for the senior. Jackson Drury with the stop.
It's the 3rd and medium coming up for Searcy. They've been pretty successful on 3rd down. 4 of 6 already. 2/3 of the time they're converting. We'll see if they can improve that number.
Dixon to throw. Dixon in trouble. Keeps the play alive, but just throws it away, and the Searcy Lions are going to have to punt.
Nice job again by Barberie, 95, and 54 in your roster. Caleb Kaufman, the 2 big guys up front. Nice job of corralling Bryce Dixon, the quarterback, keeping him in the pocket and forcing him to throw it away and potentially getting the football back for your offense, even though quarterback's on the field.
4th down and 4, and the quarterback on the field. How about this? Gutsy call here by Coach Kelly. They're going to go for it. And a quick hit for the first down just in time to Griffin Love. Dixon was nailed again right as he threw, but he picks up 6.
That's a big play and a big throw and a huge confidence booster for an offense. Mark Kelly knows that Benton had all the momentum, so he keeps his offense on the field and gets another first down, and that is huge for a Searcy offense.
That wasn't 4th and inches.
No.
That was 4th and 4.
It's a perfect route, though. Ran the out route just beyond the sticks and made the play.
Supremely confident. Dixon again on the keeper. Gets outside the 35-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 38. That's about a 6-yard gain. And 2nd and short on the way for the Lions.
Yeah.
Man.
Dixon took a big shot at the end of this play. Right when he was going to the ground, a Benton defender kind of came in, gave him a pretty good shot. It is right there. Probably a good no call, but still a big shot delivered by Giovanni Vanucci.
Dixon, far sidelines, too high. Intended for Marlon Crockett. He is 6'4", but even he couldn't get that one.
Yeah, that was a deep comeback route and overthrew his big target on the outside. Also pretty good coverage by Benton. They had 2 defenders in the area. And again, another 3rd and medium for the Searcy offense.
I guess we should just get used to this after Pulaski Academy earlier today. Hey,
well, sometimes
who needs a punter?
You see it so much, you kind of get out of that mode. Like, it can't happen 2 games in a row, right?
Handoff Young. Young dragged down at the line of scrimmage.
It's a nice job.
Loss of 1.
Jackson Drury, he's made a couple plays in the passing game. That one, he stretches out. A loss of about 2.
They're going to do it again.
Yeah, we'll see if Mark Kelly wants to roll the dice one more time. They have a punter on the stat sheet.
Hey, once you've gone for 4th and 4 inside your own 30, you got to do it when you're close to the 40, right? Otherwise, they're calling your bluff. 4th down, this is 4th and 5. They're going to swing it out to Young, and Young will be rolled down very close. This will depend on the spot because he landed on a Benton defender. If they was marked down there, he would not have made it, but he rolled forward, and he's right at it.
That's really
close.
Give it to him. They're going to eyeball it and give him a first down.
Yeah, I thought we might get a measurement there.
Yeah, the big part of that was you nailed it on the head, Scott. He landed on a Benton defender and rolled forward about another 1/3 of a yard, and that's all that Searcy needed, and they're going to hurry up and try to snap another play.
Dixon to his right. Connects again. Out of bounds is Love at the 44.
That was big why Searcy hurries to the line and runs another play, because Benton could have called a timeout and challenged that spot if they really wanted to.
The Lions going for it on 4th down twice in their own territory on this drive and making it. Handoff Young. Boy, Benton's right there to meet him this time. Justin Walker shakes off his block. That's going to be a 1-yard loss.
Walker listed at 6'1", 260. Got his hands on the ball carrier, and he wasn't letting him go. Loss of 1.
Dixon on 2nd and long with the deep ball into double coverage, and the flag's going to come out.
That's the kind of play that when the ball's underthrown, it's always going to be an advantage for the offense. If the defense had their head turned playing the receiver tried to come back through the defender and drew the flag. It's going to be 15 yards and an automatic first down.
Pass interference on the defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Results in a first down.
That's a big break for Searcy. It was definitely pass interference, but as you mentioned, the ball severely underthrown.
Yeah, that's one of those times where you underthrow it by several yards, but it actually worked out pretty well. You can see both defenders got there a little too early.
So it's 1st and 10 at the 30 of the Panthers now. Dixon's going to throw it away.
New for 2020, AETN Sports is bringing you the high school baseball and softball finals in May. Get the latest updates by signing up for alerts at aetn.org/sports. It's a smart decision by Dixon just to throw it away there.
Dixon dumps it off to Damian Young. Boy, Young has put in a few more plays than I think he was expecting to when he came to this game. If you were just picking it up later in the contest, Johnson Guthrie, a 1,000-yard rusher for Searcy, went out with an ACL injury on the first series of the game. I think it was even the first play of the game. Has not returned. Damian Young, who is a 600-plus yard rusher himself, gets the ball here, and he's going to get a few more yards. He's got a first down, breaks a tackle inside the 15-yard line. And Damian Young finally stopped by Cade Clark. It's a pickup of 8 yards to move the chains again.
Damian Young moving the ball on the ground. Mark Kelly said at halftime they want to run the football better. 12 carries, 64 yards now for Young, averaging 5 yards a tote. And that was close to his longest carry of the day.
He's run the ball 12 times. He has 6 catches. Putting in some work. Keeper by Dixon on the RPO, and he'll slide down inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, it's a late slide. He went feet first, but 22 for Benton was already committed. Kane Simmons delivered a blow to him, but
there was no way he was going to escape that.
That was a late slide.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you slide that late, you're going to get a shot. Maybe not quite as violent as it looked on the replay. And Searcy bringing in some extra beef.
Benton doesn't get everybody off the field defensively, and a quick snap. We've got a little skirmish going on after the play, quickly broken up by the officials, but there's a flag down on the far sidelines. This could be a substitution infraction again.
Before the snap, substitution infraction on the defense. Half the distance to the goal line. 2nd down.
Let's go down to Eric.
Scott and Bobby, something I was told about this Searcy team, they've been so good all year, but one thing that's really, really hurt them is personal foul penalties. Now, they didn't get one on that situation on the skirmish, but in one game this year, they got 8 of them. So tempers can run high with this Searcy team, and Benton, you know, is going to fight. Those country boys know how to play football as well, so keep your eye on some unsportsmanlike conduct. Hopefully both teams can keep it under cool.
It's been pretty good so far. That was the first time we've seen any kind of emotions.
He's just bringing that up because they ran him over. He's still mad about that.
Yeah, he's wanting a personal foul on him, or for him. Handoff Young. Young sniffs the goal line but gets turned away, shy of it. 2-yard run for Damian Young. We're under 4.5 to go in the 3rd quarter. Searcy with an answer drive in the making after Benton cut it to 7 on the first possession of the half.
We talked about their last scoring drive. They don't have many that are double-digit plays, 4 or 5 minutes. This one's over 5 minutes as well.
They'll go on the short yardage set, and it's Young for the touchdown. 2-yard touchdown run by Damian Young. He is the go-to guy for Searcy tonight.
He's found the end zone twice now. 14 carries, 68 yards, 2 scores, and that one puts the Lions back up by 2 touchdowns.
Ethan Clegg on to try to make it a 14-point lead again. And he does.
It's a big-time answer drive. And a big thanks to the folks at Corky's Ribs and Barbecue for catering. They've got restaurants in Little Rock and North Little Rock. Brad Harris said the first drive of the second half was huge for the Benton Panthers. Well, we saw the first drive for Searcy was huge as well. Mark Kelly's squad marches down the field. 17 plays, 97 yards. 5 minutes and 15 seconds, and a really, really impressive drive by the Lions.
And they go for 4th down and make it twice on their own end along the way. That's the most impressive drive of the weekend.
There's no question that they knew they needed to get a response. They needed to at least flip the field position. That's why they go for it on a 4th down twice inside their own 40, and they make it count. Dixon now 23 of 32 for 277 yards. You knew his numbers were going to be there, but maybe you didn't realize that Damian Young might be the offensive star outside of their quarterback.
Clegg will punch up the sky kick again, and it's going to be fair caught at the 38-yard line by Jaden Woolbright. So Benton gets it back and finds themselves in a 14-point hole once again.
Yeah, so as important as the first drive of the 3rd quarter was for Benton, this one may be a little more important because now there's 8 fewer minutes on the clock. We haven't seen a ton of big plays. There have been some for this Benton passing game. Casey Johnson's been a bit of a spark on the run game, but they're more of a methodical team. They'll take huge chunks of plays, but still plenty of time left in this football game.
Let's see what Brad Harris and the Panthers dial up. Brown on the option pitch to Johnson. He turns the corner, but that's about as far as he'll go. Runs out of real estate along the way as Kylie Parker did a good job of stringing it out for the Lions.
That's a really long pitch, really dangerous pitch. Almost didn't get there.
It was.
Lost the option. relationship got a little too far out there, but still able to pick up 4 on first down.
Brown with time. Connects with Nash. Nash comes back to the sidelines, reversing his field. He'll get the first down, crossing the midfield stripe. Daniel Perry runs him out of bounds there, but the Panthers are going to move the sticks. It's a gain of 11.
Yeah, Benton has had a lot of success on the double slant route to the wide side of the field. That time Nash able to find a wide open hole as most of the defense went with the first guy crossing their face, left a wide open spot, and Benton's across the 50.
First and 10 at the 47. Brown over the middle, incomplete.
Brown's pass is incomplete.
Intended for Casey Johnson out of the backfield.
Yeah, Braden Benson had that one pretty well covered.
He wasn't out of the backfield because there was nobody in the backfield, so he was lined up as a receiver on that set.
Yeah, nice job by the big linebacker to get out in coverage. Even if he does make that play, it's for likely a 1-yard gain or less.
It was quickly 3rd and 10. 4 wide to the top of your screen. Brown has time to step into that one and delivers a strike to Jaden Nash, and that's a first down.
That's 2 big-time catches on this drive for Nash. Had just 2 prior to this drive, this possession for the Panthers, but he's got him at the 34.
Sawyer Jackson made the stop for Searcy. The drive continues for Benton. Hand off Johnson straight ahead. And Johnson gets good first down yardage. Stopped shy of the 30-yard line, the 3-yard gain. Stop is made by Brock Hohenstein, the defensive end for the Lions.
Benton's starting to pick up the pace a little bit more as well, going a little quicker. Now, they don't huddle much, but they have wasted a little time previously before this drive. They're getting this off really right around that 15 to 20 mark on the play clock.
2nd and 7. Handoff Johnson again. Gets the corner turn, but Searcy does a good job of not letting him get the first down. Lots of Lions in pursuit. Hayden Miles will get credit for the stop. 3-yard pickup. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and short.
Yeah, this is the type of plays that Searcy's had so much success on, sustaining drives. We'll see if Benton can return the favor, and they're going 4 wide to the bottom of your screen.
Got to think it's 4-down territory. Brown's going to try to go behind those big offensive linemen and get the first down, and I believe he did.
Yeah, that's a design, delayed quarterback draw. He takes a couple steps back, but Brown did a nice job of making it look like a pass, gets the rushers upfield and tucks that one down and gets just enough, just past the line to gain, and Benton's in business.
Brandon Benson made the stop from his linebacker spot. But we move the chains again. Under 2 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Both teams have punched it into the end zone once on their only possession in the quarter so far. It's Johnson again. Straight ahead to about the 21.
Yeah, you can start to feel the tension starting to build a little bit. Benton understands how big this drive is. They've had some success moving the football, but red zone possessions haven't been the kindest to the Panthers. They're just 1 of 3 in the red zone. Excuse me, now 2 of 4 after that first touchdown drive this half. They're going to try to take advantage of another.
Keep it on the ground again to Casey Johnson. Boy, Benton really pounding it up the middle. I feel like they're maybe setting something up.
Yeah, they're relying on those big guys. Early in this football game, they had a lot of success running the football with Johnson right up the middle. He's already now at 22 carries, 125 yards in this contest.
Browns had a good day throwing the football, 13 of 19, 132 yards. 2 touchdown passes. He does have the interception in the end zone on an incredible one-handed pick in the first quarter by Perry. They'll keep it on the ground again. A flag's down. Johnson's got the first down yardage. We'll have to see about the penalty.
Yeah. Going by the side judge down here on the bottom of the screen, and we'll have to see if Benton was lined up properly.
Well, this could be a really detrimental penalty.
And Benton's backing it up.
Illegal formation. 5 men in the backfield on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay third down.
Yeah, what that means is either a receiver, a tight end, or maybe even an offensive lineman was just too far back from the football. And as you mentioned, Scott, that's really, really detrimental. You pick up a first down, look like you're going to be maybe a first and goal situation or at least close to it. Now you're back behind the 20 again.
So it'll be 3rd and about 7. Brown under pressure. Incomplete.
Yeah. Overshot his receiver on the tunnel screen coming back to the inside. Didn't look like there was a whole lot of real estate to work there in the first place, but a dangerous throw back against the green with a lot of bodies in there.
4th down. And the quarterback, Garrett Brown, is going to stay out there.
And Casey Johnson, the running back, came out for one play, but now he's back in there.
Big play here, 4th and 7, with the Panthers trailing by 2 scores, and we're a half minute away from the final 12 minutes of the 6A state title game, and it is a big enough play to warrant calling a timeout.
Yeah, Benton didn't like the look that they had. Play clock wasn't in a great spot, so and this is a big, big play for Benton. So we're going to call timeout and have an extra 30 to 45 seconds to talk it over.
Well, if you're thinking about is this in field goal range, I don't have the numbers for the field goal kicker for Benton, Brian Arajo, but this would be about a 38, 37-yard field goal attempt. And not sure what Coach Harris is thinking there, but he's thinking touchdown. We know that.
Yep. AETN is proud to bring you the high school football state finals live, and we're going to be back in March with the basketball finals, and coming in May, the baseball and softball finals. All on AETN Sports. Not for personal reasons, but I'm really excited that AAA and AETN have partnered to get these things on television.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's meant a lot to a lot of people who have not been able to come to the games for whatever reason, but they want to see. There's probably some folks watching in the Searcy area and the Benton area tonight that couldn't make it for whatever reason, needed to stay in. Here we go, 4th down and 7. Brown looking sidelines, and it is incomplete. And Benton will turn it over on downs. It was intended for Peyton Hudgens. Searcy holds, and they will maintain their 14-point lead.
They tried to hit Hudgens on the comeback right at the sticks, and the throw looked like it was pretty well placed by Brown, but I'm not going to tell you who was in coverage because I can't see his number. But either way, it's a really nice job. He was open, but would have taken a perfect pass and a perfect catch, and Searcy couldn't get the job done.
Dixon back out for Searcy, and he throws incomplete, intended for Tanner Leonard.
Yeah, short arm that one. He had a Leonard running wide open down the seam. He may still be running if those two can hook up on that play. Looked like that might have got a little deflected at the line of scrimmage. Either way, it falls incomplete.
We got some kind of a haze coming through here. I don't know if there's smoke. I don't smell smoke, but I don't know if you're seeing that on television. But there's a little bit of cloud cover at War Memorial Stadium. Damian Young gets a couple on that play. It'll be 3rd down and 8, and that'll probably be the final play here, the 3rd quarter, if Searcy is okay with that. It appears as if they are.
Yeah, we knew this was going to be a slugfest in the second half. It was a 14-point lead at the break for Searcy. They've got that same lead going to the final 12 minutes.
It's going to be a fun 4th quarter in the 6A state championship game, and we're back after this to bring it to you. You're watching the state football championships on AETN Sports.
Hey, I'm Rick Steves. You know, I don't go anywhere without my passport. Thanks to PBS Passport, you can watch all my travel specials. This exclusive streaming service is just for our members. Not only can you see all my shows, but you can see thousands of hours of your favorite public television shows. Become a member today.
You'll find there's never a dull moment in this house.
Welcome to Downton.
Heavens, we are quite a party.
Hi, Roger Scott for Big Red Stores. Big Red Stores is proud to support high school athletics and to sponsor these high school championship games. Over 40 Big Red Stores are located throughout Central Arkansas, each one staffed with our team members who have participated in games, marched in the band, or led the spirit teams in cheers. And now we are pleased to bring families, schools, and communities together. Big Red Stores, now more convenient than ever. Enjoy the games.
Searcy has led the entire game. Benton trails by 14 as we start the fourth quarter here. Searcy has the football in the 6A state championship game on their own end.
Big third down to start this period.
Bryce Dixon, the quarterback for the Lions, flushed out, fires and finds a receiver, complete at the 28-yard line to Griffin Love. It is short of the first down by a couple of yards, but hey, they went for it twice on their own end in the last drive that ended up being a 97-yard touchdown drive.
Yeah, we've seen Mark Kelly's not afraid to go for it on fourth down.
They're going to do it again.
Yeah, this is a big call.
Such a confident team. Dixon with the quick pass to Young, looking for space. He will not find it. Benton has held.
Barberie, the big defensive lineman, gets out and makes the play in space. Outstanding play, and now that is a huge swing of momentum. Searcy gives up the football just outside their own 20-yard line.
Well, sometimes when you roll the dice, you come up craps, and that's what happened.
Yeah, it hadn't happened much for Searcy. Pretty much everything they've turned to has been pure gold today, but that time Barberie, the big defensive lineman, gets out there and makes a great play on a really shifty athlete.
So that gives the Panthers starting field position at the 22-yard line of the Lions. Let's see if they can capitalize. They'll keep it on the ground with Johnson, and Johnson is turned back immediately.
Casey Johnson.
It's a loss of a yard as we go down to Eric.
Scott and Bobby, I wanted to let everybody know that Johnson Guthrie is back on the sidelines. He has his knee heavily wrapped in ice, but I asked him, I said, man, are you good? He goes, man, I hate this, but I'm going to be here for my teammates. We knew he's the kind of guy, kind of character that would do that. And on these fourth downs that Coach Kelly keeps calling, obviously Scott, Bobby, and myself haven't been to all these Searcy games all year long. I think the crowd is used to it because usually you got somebody in there going, what are you doing? What are you doing? They are all used to the way these guys play so aggressive on offense.
All right, Eric, thank you for the insight there. Hand off to Johnson, and he gets very little again. Got back to the original line of scrimmage. He was stopped there by Hayden Miles. So Benton playing it pretty conservative here. 2 straight runs, one of them on second down and 12.
Yeah, they've run the football more than they've thrown it. 27 rush attempts, 21 passes. So that's kind of what they're going to be their workhorses tonight. Casey Johnson's over 125 yards. They're going to go with him, but now they're probably have to go through the air. But they have had success hitting their running back coming out of the backfield. He does have a touchdown catch.
3rd and 10. Likely 4-down territory for the Panthers. Brown connects at the 14-yard line to Hudgens. He gets to the 10. That's good enough for the first down. He is spun down there. It may be 1st and goal. Kylie Parker on the stop for the Lions, depending on the mark. Looks like they'll move the sticks down because it's going to be right at the 10-yard line.
We'll have to look at Braxton Slaughter, number 7 here. That might have been a design pick play because he was already blocking by the time the catch was made. Either way, we got a 1st and goal for the Panthers.
Yeah, they do drop the sticks now. So it's just a hair inside the 10. 1st and goal. Brown on the play action. Lobs it back to the end zone. In and out of the hands of his intended receiver. A penalty marker down.
They're going to say Kylie Parker made contact just a little too soon for Searcy. That was a bang-bang play, but there's also a flag down here on the near side of the field. So there's one in the end zone and one about the 6-yard line. We'll have to see what these calls are.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Ineligible receiver downfield on the offense. Defensive pass interference. Those penalties offset. Replay 1st down.
That's a big break for Searcy. Instead of a 1st and goal from at least the 5. Instead, now it's just going to be first and goal again from the 10.
Looked like the receiver, Hudgens, who has a touchdown catch tonight for Benton, was open in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, that's, again, a touch underthrown, which caused the pass interference. Maybe either way, both teams survived that, because even a penalty on the offense would have been really tough to overcome in this spot of the field.
Fake to Johnson. Brown throws into the end zone, and it is intercepted. Intercepted by Daniel Perry again, his second pick of this championship game. And it looked like, Bobby, that Brown was going for the inside receiver there and just overthrew.
Yeah, he overthrew his receiver, but Daniel Perry in the right spot at the right time. Again, you mentioned his second interception in the end zone, his third forced turnover. He was the one that forced the turnover and recovered it. Daniel Perry having himself a day, and red zone miscues for Benton is really going to haunt the Panthers in this football game.
3 of them. 3 red zone turnovers for the Panthers in the game, and Searcy, who had turned it over on downs, gets away with it unscathed. Damian Young on the short gain on first down. Wow.
It's the stop for the Panthers.
What a back and forth. You talk about momentum swings in this football game. We've had a dozen of them.
Yeah, we have. And Benton is just kicking themselves because all of the miscues, all of the lost points have been self-inflicted wounds. The fumble looked like he was going to walk into the end zone, didn't have good ball security, and that one just an overthrown pass. And that's a play that Garrett Brown's going to run back through his head a time and time again.
Bryce Dixon, the Searcy quarterback, and we're going to have a whistle and a flag before the snap of the football.
There's a flag on the field.
Snap infraction on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Let's check in with Eric.
All right, Scott and Bobby, right there is Daniel Jones, number 20, or Daniel Perry, I'm sorry, number 2. Now, they don't have any of the touchdown chains or touchdown belts or turnover belts, so I just went and patted him on the shoulder and said, you get the AETN Stud Award. So what do y'all think about that?
I like it. Dixon throws incomplete, intended for Griffin Love. And it's going to be 3rd and long.
They may not have any chains or belts or whatever, but if the score holds up, he's going to have something else called the state championship MVP, or at least he should.
But, they give us these nice quarter-zip pullovers. Maybe we could come up with some sort of turnover belt, the AETN turnover.
You got a lanyard on. Just give him down.
Yeah.
It'll fit over the helmet.
3rd down and long. Short pass, complete. And down the field goes Marlon Crockett, showing off the wheels. Inside the 30. To the 21-yard line. Marlon Crockett.
We've been waiting for him to break a big one, and he's been close a couple times, and then he finally does it. That is a big play and maybe a potential backbreaker for Benton.
How about breakaway speed here? Wow.
Dixon's pass is
63 yards.
2nd down.
And Searcy's not.
Pass was incomplete.
Yeah,
by the way,
Searcy's not slowing down.
The
the chain's still 20 yards behind the play, and now we're going to have to second down. They're still not set.
Wow. Well, you see why there are a lot of colleges showing some interest in Marlon Crockett. 6'4" and a lot of speed there. Handoff goes to Damian Young, and he gets to the 15-yard line. Pick up about 6 on the play, and it's going to be 2nd down and 4. Or, I'm sorry, 3rd down and 4, because that incompletion prior to that. So 3rd down and 4. Clock now continues to be, or starting to be, a bit of a concern now if you're Benton.
Yeah, Searcy's offense now over 450 yards, 465 to be exact, and they've been able to move the ball up and down the field, but they've finished drives. That's the biggest difference in this game. Benton's turned it over. Searcy's put it in the end zone.
They're not interested in snapping it quickly right now. Play clock at 5, and a fumble on the snap. It never got to the quarterback. Damian Young is going to fall on it.
Yeah, that's the center's worst nightmare. That snap hit him himself in the own backside there. Take a look at the replay, and the ball on the ground. Just kind of rolled back
there. It never came off the ground.
Yeah.
He just rolled it back, yeah. He took his hand off of the ball. So it's going to be 4th down.
You go for it on your own 15, you're sure going to go for it on the opposing 15.
This will be the fourth down attempt of the second half for the Searcy Lions. Dixon going to throw for it. Stays behind the line of scrimmage, and he's intercepted. Intercepted by the Panthers, and it's going to be a nice return down the sidelines. Kane Simmons, and he is out in front. It's a foot race to the 20, to the 10. Touchdown, Benton Panthers. A flag comes in after he crosses the goal line. We'll have to see what that's about.
What a huge momentum swing. It's 4th down. You're trying to extend the play as Bryce Dixon, but he throws it up, and it goes back the other way. A pick 6, and things really just got interesting. But as you mentioned, 2 flags down in the end zone, and there's also one about the 18. That was a clean block there on the final defender trying to tackle him, at least.
We know possession changed. I think we're pretty clear on that. Whether he scored a touchdown is what is in doubt right now.
So maybe take a look at the replay. But there's one Searcy offensive player trying to track him down, and it looked like he got a great block from his teammate. It looked like a clean block in live action as we take a look at the play.
Wow.
We'll have to see what they called here. That's a clean block there.
4th interception of the year, by the way, for Kane Simmons.
That's side to side. To me, that's a clean block. They may get him for unsportsmanlike conduct with a little tuck and roll into the end zone, but that should not be an illegal block.
And 2 fouls on the play after the interception. Illegal block in the back. It's blindside block against Benton. After the play was over. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Benton. Both fouls will be enforced. It's 1st down.
Wow. I don't agree with that one, Scott. I know we're in the heat of the moment of the state championship game, but that's not a blindside block for sure, and that's going to cost major yardage. Instead of having a touchdown, this one's going to go back probably near midfield.
All right, well, as someone who hasn't read what the rule states on unsportsmanlike conduct, are you telling me a kid diving into the end zone is a 15-yard penalty?
Yeah, I think there's 2 bad calls. So they're compounding themselves. It's good speed by the assistant coach on the sideline, but this right here is not a blindside block or an illegal block or anything of the sort. And if that's an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, I probably should have had 50 of them in my playing days.
Clearly he didn't have to dive.
That's
okay. So it's going to put the football back at the 50-yard line. Benton does get the turnover, of course. He throws incomplete. That's out of bounds.
Well, what a huge momentum shift. I mean, the far sideline, the far crowd was going nuts, and now the Searcy crowd, which really thought that their 14-point lead was cut in half, they're on their feet again. God, you just hate to see something like that affect the game of this magnitude.
Yeah, it was going to be a 1-touchdown game, and now the Panthers have half the field to go. And as we mentioned right before the turnover, the clock not their friend now. They're going to have to score twice in 6.5 minutes. This is going to help out the cause as Braden Murdoch spins his way inside the Lion 30-yard line.
Again, the tunnel screen. And that time it was set up well. Garrett Brown hits his man coming back across the middle. Got some blockers out in front, and Benton in business.
Brown with time again, and he connects again with Nash, who gets inside the 15-yard line, spun down at about the 14-yard line.
5th catch for Nash. He's at about 52 yards on the afternoon. It's a pretty good afternoon, and they're having success with Jay Nash on the slant.
It's 1st and 10.
Nash is split out wide to the right on this play. 2 on either side of the formation. And it's a delay handoff. Johnson. Not a lot there, though, for Casey Johnson.
Casey Johnson on the carry.
Let's go down to Eric.
Sawyer Jackson and Brock Hohenstein on the stop. 2nd down.
All right, we'll check in with Eric again in just a few moments. 2nd down, and
Eric's talking to the official.
About 12.
Probably trying to figure out what's going on down there, too.
End around, it's Hudgens. Hudgens got a nice block, but he doesn't get much positive yardage there.
Yeah, Casey Johnson, the lead backer there, just threw down the defender. If anything, that should have been the hold or the illegal block.
Yeah. Let's try Eric again.
All right, Scott and Bobby, they did call the block in the back. I agree with you guys on that. But after that, and I caught this, the play was the touchdown was over. A Benton guy just destroyed a Searcy player to the ground, and this official right here caught that, and that was unsportsmanlike conduct.
Okay, so it was not for the dive into the end zone.
No, it was not for the dive.
Thanks for clearing that up. I appreciate that. Brown to throw. Throws high, but a great catch is made. It's going to be first down and goal. Peyton Hudgens hauls it in. Boy, when they've needed a big catch, Peyton Hudgens has been the guy.
That's a really nice catch. Goes up, has to extend the arms above his head and gets the ball to the 2, and a lot of beef just came onto the field for Benton. They're going the heavy package, and it looks like the linebacker's back to take the direct snap.
He sure is, and he's going to make it into the end zone.
He
has to deliver the hit, but Woolbright scores for Benton, and they are within an extra point of making it a 7-point game again.
That's what happens when linebackers take a direct snap. They look for contact, and he could have waltzed into the end zone, but he made sure he delivered a blow.
You're right, he did, didn't he? Like, I'm not going to outrun you, so I'm just going to go through you.
Lower the shoulder, typical linebacker play, and it's a big extra point here.
Brian Araujo to make it a 7-point game. It's good. 28-21, 4:51 left. That's the first score of this fourth quarter, so we're going to step aside. We'll be back for a great finish in the 6A title game. You're watching the state football championships on AETN Sports.
With many Arkansas schools to choose from, you can welcome.
As time passes and the years go by, change is something we all experience. But no matter how the world changes from year to year, the one thing that will never change is the true meaning of Christmas. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. May your holidays be filled with joy and blessings. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from all of us at Everett.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car, to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Welcome back into the 6A state championship game. Benton back in the end zone and cuts the deficit to 7. You can continue the football conversation on all social media platforms. Just use the hashtag AETN Sports. And Scott, we expected this one to come down to the wire, and well, Benton and Searcy are not disappointing us.
Not at all. Let's go down to the sidelines and check in with Eric Sullivan.
Scott and Bobby, Jade Woolbright is a football player you want on your team. He's the young man that hustled down and made a pretty clean block, but they called him for it. He's the guy that just took on the contact to score that touchdown, so he can play on my team.
They got it.
And now you get back to the game, boys.
Yeah, Brian, or Benton rather, has recovered the onside kick. Thank you, Eric. Sorry to interrupt, but boy, they pull the onside kick out at the perfect time, and they recover it on the fly and get the football back with a chance to tie it.
That is a perfectly executed onside kick. Gets the big hop. Number 2, who's made so many great plays on the defensive end, Daniel Perry, has it go through his hands for Searcy, and Benton right there to recover the football. And a defensive touchdown wiped out could have killed all their momentum, but the offense takes advantage, goes right down the field, and now they've got the football back with a chance to add on to it.
Looks like we may be getting a review.
Yeah, they're going to maybe look at if the Benton touched the football before it went 10 yards. Looks like Searcy's challenging this, so this is going to cost them a timeout. If they win the challenge, if you're new to the rules this year, this is the first year you can challenge game plays. You got to call a timeout. You would get it back if you win the challenge.
Searcy is challenging the ruling on the field.
So the only thing you can really challenge there is a clean recovery or if Benton touched the football before it went the full 10 yards.
It didn't look like he was anywhere near the sideline. Like he's not out of bounds when he got the ball. Let's take a look. That is close. Well, it goes to 10 yards.
It goes to 10 yards, but now we have to wait and see if there was a clean recovery, which there is in the field of play. I think that play is going to stand. That's well called on the field. Excellent onside kick. You want that late hop. Goes right through Perry's hands for Searcy, and Benton Johnny on the spot. Bo Wright was there to make the recovery. At least from that angle, Scott, it looks like this challenge is going to go by the wayside and cost Searcy a timeout. Try not to watch a lot of football, but Wisconsin's up 14 at halftime on Ohio State.
All right, Brad Norwood has got the call for us.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. First down.
Good use of replay right there.
Yep, that's why it's there. That's why they implement it, and they get it right. And again, Searcy's now charged a timeout, and Scott and I are 4 for 4.
Hey, and not only a good use of replay, let me say in the first time ever using this, it's been efficient.
It has been. It's been quick.
Looking at it and looking at it and looking at it like you sometimes see in the college and pro games.
Most of the time, the first time you see it is the right call, that gut feeling. I mean, football's still played by instincts, and they get it right.
So it's 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Down by a touchdown. Brown's going to give it on the draw to Johnson. And Johnson is to the 45, maybe even the 44-yard line.
Lost a shoe in the process.
Tell you what, give the Panthers credit. They have been committed to their run game tonight. They've run on first down way more than they've thrown it.
See if Johnson can stay out on the field or he's going to have to come out because of the shoe, but looks like he's got it back on. Benton not in much of a hurry. This is one of those drives where if you can kill 4 minutes, you do it. And obviously everything at this point going to be 4-down territory.
Play fake. Brown in trouble. Brown throws it away. A dangerous pass, but he gets away with it.
Could be grounding.
I'm not sure if anybody was around it.
His tight end, I believe it's 87, was kind of in the area. We'll have to see if they rule it, and it looks like they're going to.
Yeah, there's no flag down that I see.
Yeah, 87, the tight ends. Braden Murdoch, or the receiver, right there, and the Searcy crowd certainly does not like that call.
Sawyer Jackson with the pressure. Senior linebacker making Brown get rid of it, and now it's 3rd down. Brown in trouble again from both sides, and down he goes.
Garrett Brown, sacked at the 45-yard line.
He had no chance. Hayden Miles from one side and Sawyer Jackson from the other.
That's back-to-back big plays by Jackson. He made the tackle on the previous running attempt by Johnson, and there puts Benton in a 4th and, call it 15, 16 yards.
Correction, it was Braden Dodds on the other side.
Yeah, this could be, I don't know if there's a lot of plays that are 4th and 16 in the playbook, so you guess you could punt it and maybe trust your defense, but it looks like the offense is going to stay on the field.
Benton has 2 timeouts, but they're going to elect to
boat paddle
ride it on this one. 4th down and a mile. Brown goes deep to the 1st down yard marker. The catch is made by Nash. We're going to have to see about the spot.
Yeah, and what's important is they just lost that challenge, did Searcy, and the play would not be challenged until the final 2 minutes of this game, so that's going to be a 1st down. That was a really close spot. It looked like it might have been a generous spot to benefit Benton.
Yeah, Searcy fans agree with you.
But they can't challenge it because you only get 1 per game, and they lost the challenge on the onside kick.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's about the... that's about a 2-yard advantage there.
They'll go back to the ground, pounding it with Johnson. We've got plenty of time on the clock now. 2 timeouts, 3 minutes. That's a 4-yard gain for Casey Johnson. He's been a workhorse tonight.
Yeah, you got to remember, Scott, and if that would have happened a minute later, that would have been automatically challenged from the booth because that's a line to gain.
How about 26 carries for Casey Johnson, 128 yards. Very Zach Wallace-like if you're Benton. And a flag down pre-snap, and I believe that Searcy jumped.
You can tell the nerves are starting to creep into the stadium. Both sides are into it. The crowds are getting loud.
Encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
And this is where the experience of playing in the state championship game last year in this stadium may come into benefit the Panthers.
Johnson again. Johnson has a big hole, and he's down to the 20. He's got another Panther first down.
Brandon Benson makes the stop for the Lions.
They've just been content running the football. 28th rushing attempt by Casey Johnson. I think you said it earlier. I don't know if he woke up this morning expecting to get the football as much as he had, but Searcy with just 3 down linemen, they're content with running the football. Is Benton. It's a really light box. You see the 3 down linemen, the 2 linebackers. We'll reset the play clock, but the game clock's still going. Yeah. This is going to burn an extra 20, 25 seconds.
I think Benton's okay with that, right?
Yeah, I think Searcy's okay with it as well.
You're right. I think it's going to come down to the final possession here. Here's Johnson again. Johnson inside the 5, and Johnson scores the touchdown.
What a hole made by that offensive line. Casey Johnson didn't find any contact till about the 5-yard line. He burst through, and we'll see what Benton has drawn up. The down 1, an extra point ties it, but it looks like they're keeping the offense on the field.
How about this?
159 yards now for Casey Johnson, 29 attempts, 20-yard touchdown run, and they are going for 2.
Wow, gutsy call. And their direct snap it to Johnson.
Well, they blew it. They called a timeout.
Called a timeout.
They were trying the Philly special. That was going to be the direct snap to the running back, flip it to the running back, and throw it to the quarterback. And Searcy snuffed it out the timeout. And now you blow probably your best 2-point play, and maybe you kick the extra point.
Yeah, I think you got a sneak peek if you're Searcy. You got the call just at the right time. They burned the timeout. So we'll see what Benton decides to do. How about the gutsy play calling in this game? First Searcy going for it multiple times on their own end on 4th down, and now rather than kick the potential game-tying point after, Benton lines up, and they were full throttle going to go for 2 and end it right here.
You know, I like it. You know, there's still 2 minutes left. A lot can happen in the final, I guess 2:04, but you take the pressure off your kicker. You don't put a high school kicker into that situation, and you also put the play in the best guy's hands. And that time they were going to try a little trick play, try to get it to 2-point conversion, but we'll see what they're doing. It looks like the offense is still huddled up over there with Brad Harris, but we'll have to see what they do coming out of it.
Real quick, let's check in with Eric.
Yeah, guys, talk about as well as Dixon's played, but did Searcy, they got a little under the nerves setting in here. We'll find out on defense, guys. I'll report back to you in a minute.
Going for 2 again.
Offense stays on the field. Going for 2, down 1 with 2:04 to go in the state championship game. Fake. Brown's going to throw for it. Back of the end zone, and he overthrows his intended receiver, and Searcy will hang on to a 1-point lead.
That's a big play, but it's not the end of the game. Still 2 minutes, 2 timeouts left for Benton. They'll probably try another onside kick, but their offense is going to get another shot at it.
Brett Barbary
called his name a bunch.
The intended receiver.
Called his name a bunch on the defensive side, but that time the defensive tackle lines up on offense and overshoots his big target in the back of the end zone.
Wow.
That's when the timeout by Mark Kelly on the previous 2-point conversion so big because they had it set up. It looked like it might have been a perfect time to draw up the trick play, but that time they can't get it done.
You couldn't ask for more drama in this championship game than we've had.
This is what state championship football is supposed to be. Now, Searcy going to have to get the hand teams out there. We'll see what Benton decides to do. And with nobody beyond 20 yards of where the ball, 25 yards where the ball is going to be spotted to be kicked, maybe if you're Benton, you do try to kick it deep and pin Searcy back. That's if you think you have enough time and enough confidence in your defense to get a stop, because we've seen that Searcy's going to go for it on 4th down. It looks like he is going to line up to at least show that he's going to kick it deep. And Searcy going to send somebody back.
Idaho approaches, and they'll do another onside kick. This time it's going to be, there's a flag down.
So that's going to
Somebody
be,
was offsides.
yeah, if you go offsides on an onside kick, they automatically blow it dead in high school football. So they're going to get another chance at it. That wasn't well executed, but Benton's going to get a chance to do it again. Special teams coach will say they did that on purpose to see how they react to it.
That's what they're going to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now they are going to line up for the traditional onside kick. At least that's what he's going to set up, is Brian Araujo.
Whale of a football game here tonight, War Memorial Stadium, and it's not over yet. Does not go 10 yards, but Searcy falls on it. And the Lions will have possession. So now it comes down to, can the Panthers defense get a stop? It's a first down for Searcy, wins them a state championship.
That's a great job by Nick Saunders to get that football before it took the big hop. He was able to jump in front of it, get his body in front before it took the big hop that Benton was looking for. And all it's going to take is one first down, as Benton's just got 2 timeouts left, 2:04. One first down may give Searcy their first state title in, you say, almost 100 years?
1933 is pretty close. Direct snap to Crockett, so they're going to do the Wildcat with Marlon Crockett here late in the game. He gets a couple of yards, and let's see if Benton has not called timeout.
They're not going to call timeout here. Again, you'll see it after either second or third down, or both, depending on the results of the play. But Mark Kelly has shown that he's going to go for it on fourth down. He's done so already 5 times, but just 2 of 5 is Searcy on the extra down attempt.
Crockett stays out as the quarterback on the play.
That's faith in your big-time athlete on the outside.
And we're going to get a flag before the snap. They're all over the place. Man, we got 1, 2, 3 of them out there pre-snap, and probably some motion here.
Snap infraction on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
The third snap infraction we've seen on Searcy tonight.
We had a lot of pre-snap movement there, a lot of things going on, and
7 penalties on both sides. Well, this one's still been a relatively clean basketball game. Excuse me, football game. I looked at the basketball score, sorry. Hogs got beat.
Which basketball game were you looking at?
The Hogs got beat.
Yeah, they went to overtime, didn't
they? They did.
1:23 left. And Dixon's back at quarterback looking to throw the football. He is in trouble, headed towards the sidelines and runs out of bounds. It stops the clock, plus he lost a ton of yardage.
Yeah, if you're going to run out of bounds there, just throw it. Save yourself the yardage. Instead, he loses. He goes from his own, the Benton 46 all the way back to his own 41. That's a huge play. 14 yards, 15-yard difference.
Man.
And now they're way behind the chains, and more importantly, it stops the clock and saves a timeout for Benton.
Benton hasn't used one yet, so they still have the 2 they started this possession with. The Panthers hopeful to get the football back even more.
Most important thing for Searcy here is something completed, something to keep the clock moving, make Benton take a timeout. They run the football, and I'm sure Brad Harris is going to call it for it here.
No gain by Young, and a quick timeout with 1:10 to play.
Yeah, Searcy has not punted yet to this point in this football game. If they don't punt here, then they don't have it in the playbook.
Yeah, you're right. There is no punter if they don't punt here.
Yeah, because you're looking at a 4th and 26 from your own 41-yard line and giving up a short field. So we haven't seen him yet today, but whoever the punter is for Searcy is about to trot onto the field.
Well, having said that, on the 2 deep they provided for us, they did not include a punter.
Maybe it's the quarterback. Maybe you line up like you're going to run it so they don't send somebody deep. But even if you're Benton, I think you send somebody back.
Yeah.
Try to avoid the quick kick.
Hey, let's check in with Eric. You know if Searcy has a punter, Eric?
Actually, I just found out, guys. It's their quarterback, Dixon, and he's done a few of the quick kicks in the course of the season. But I'm like Bobby, and I don't know what they're going to do here. They've went for it every time, but this makes sense to just get the ball down the field and let your defense stop them, guys.
What's dangerous about the quick kick is, and if you don't watch a lot of football, the quarterback's going to line up 6-7 yards like he is right now and try to pooch it. That's not the normal 17 yards that a punter gets. A lot more susceptible to get blocked.
Yeah. The idea is you get it off quicker maybe because he probably isn't going to try to kick it really deep.
Right. This is what a state championship football game is supposed to be. Come down to the final 72 seconds,
Yes.
1-point game, team behind, about to get the football back.
Hey, it's why we came.
Exactly.
It's why we came. Oh, and it almost was blocked. It's a low kick that gets away. Searcy gets a big break and a big roll. Look at that. All the way inside the 20. My goodness. That thing was rolling like a basketball down the field.
Not sure how that wasn't blocked, to be quite honest. I mean, he had a Benton player coming free. He just kicked it away from the rusher. That's all he did, just angled it to the left. And
give Dixon a lot of credit on that. He felt the rush, kicked it away from it.
So now the question is for Benton, do you trust your kicker and how many yards do you need to get into field goal range? Because they're 85 yards away from the goal line.
One timeout still. They didn't have to burn both of them, which is a big advantage here in this situation. Brown connects on first down. Out to the 26-yard line to Jaden Nash.
Again, on the slant, Nash has had a lot of success on that play.
Remember, in high school, the clock stops just like in college until they get the chains up the field, so they haven't blown it live yet. 55 seconds. And Benton gets the snap off very efficiently. Brown with time, looking deep and connects again. Another completion to Nash. He's got the first down and very alertly runs out of bounds at the 43-yard line, only taking 9 seconds.
Pretty much the same play, but that time Nash sat down, didn't continue on the slant, goes a little back to the outside. A perfectly thrown ball by Garrett Brown leads him to the outside. Nash is having a big, big second half. Now 8 catches, close to 100 yards.
Brown under pressure. He still gets the pass complete in the middle of the field, but that's a short gain, and it's inbounds to Peyton Hutchins.
Yeah, more importantly, the clock's going to run on that one. That's going to cost them at least 10, maybe 15 seconds before they get the next play off.
Under a half minute. Benton hanging on to that one precious timeout. On the play fake, Brown sets up, fires towards the sidelines. It's caught for another first down, and out of bounds goes Hutchins.
How calm, cool, and collected does Garrett Brown look on this drive?
Very much so.
He's getting time to throw it, but he's throwing in motion, throwing on time, and his receivers are right where they're supposed to be.
What a finish. Benton has never led in the 6A title game tonight. Trying to win it. Brown throws high and incomplete.
Yeah, dangerous.
Hit as he threw.
Yeah, dangerous throw going again on the slant to number 1, Jaden Nash, but that time he overthrows it, but not at the end of the world. Clock stops. 17 seconds left.
Man, my heart's pumping a little extra. I can't imagine what's going on in those kids right now.
Yeah, one timeout each side. You got to believe even if they're going to try a field goal, they still got to pick up at least 20 yards to make them a little bit legitimate chance.
Brown over the middle, complete for the first down at the 32-yard line. That'll stop the clock with 13 seconds to play. Braden Murdoch hauls it in. It's a gain of 12. The clock will start. I think they're going to spike it here. And they do. The clock gets down to 9 seconds, so that cost them 4 seconds. But they stop the clock and preserve the timeout. But they've really only got time now for one more play.
Yeah,
if they're going to kick a field goal.
Yeah, with 9 seconds left and the timeout, the full field is in play. Anywhere between 10 to 15 yards, you think it's going to be in play. But the key is the receiver can't fight for the goal line, can't fight to get out of bounds. As soon as he catches it, got to go down, so you allow your coach to call the timeout.
And you're not in field goal range now, so you've still got to pick up some more yardage.
Yeah, about 15 yards is, I think, is probably the least amount.
Look at the play clock, Bobby. It's down to 2, down to 1. They got it off. Brown pumps. He's hit. Leaves it up for grabs down the sidelines. Incomplete with 4 seconds left. So now decision time. I don't think you're going to see a field goal here. We'll see. I think you're probably looking for the end zone.
You'll be looking at about a 49-yard kick to win the state championship. I don't know much about the Benton kicking game, but it looks like Brad Harris is going to leave the offense out there, and it comes down to this. 4 seconds, down a point. A state championship is going to happen on this play. And just because he's done it all day, finds number 2 for Searcy. Where's Daniel Perry?
2 picks, a forced fumble.
Benton's going to burn at their final timeout.
Yeah, no reason to keep it.
He's the sophomore defensive back, and if you're Benton, the way that number 2 is played, maybe throw away from him.
Wow. Comes down to the final play to decide a state championship. Doesn't get any better than this.
This is what it's supposed to be. Searcy and Benton have been by far the 2 best teams over the last month of the season. Benton's won 9 in a row. Searcy sitting at 11-1. These 2 teams have really put on a show. A lot of guts showed by Benton. But there's still some work to be done if they're going to be paid off for it.
Let's go down to Eric.
All right, Bobby and Scott, I feel you guys' emotions as well. It is rocking down here on the field at War Memorial Stadium for Benton to make this comeback, and I come back over here to the Searcy side. So a heck of a ball game, and I've also noticed that Marlon Crockett has checked in at safety. 6'4", 190. You can bet they're going to line him up here to knock it down. We'll see what happens on the Hail Mary, guys.
Yeah, you got to get your biggest bodies out there to try to knock it down, and he's a pretty good one to pick from.
So it's a foregone conclusion for both of you. It's going to be a Hail Mary. They're not going to try to get something middle of the field, let the receiver try to get there?
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, it's one of these things where you can't risk the ball being or getting tackled before the line of scrimmage. We'll have to wait and see how it goes.
All right, here we go. Final play, barring penalty of the 6A title game. They're going to throw it out in the flat, throw it back on the double pass to Brown, and the third pass is going to go into the end zone or close to it, and it is incomplete. Searcy has won the 6A state championship. Their first state title since 1933.
That's one of those plays, Scott, where it works. You look like a genius with the double pass. The quarterback does get the ball back in his hands, but it could not have enough mustard because by the time the second pass was taken, he was back about 15 yards behind the original line of scrimmage. Not enough mustard all the way across the field. Couldn't get it there, and what a sight to see. The Searcy fans, their entire town is here. First championship in 85 to 90 years.
For Coach Harris and the Benton Panthers, for the second year in a row, they get here but come up a game short. As we take a look at the final play again, you're right, he didn't have enough gas to get it there, even if he almost made the catch.
Yep.
But he wouldn't have been in the end zone.
Yeah, four or five players for Searcy. That's a great job defensively by Searcy. That's when sometimes the trick plays don't work because there's so much happening behind the line of scrimmage. Searcy's already backing up. There's a lot of window dressing to that play, and Searcy did a great job defending it.
Let's go down to the field. Eric Sullivan.
Quarterback is with us, and we've got Mr. Marlon Crockett and Bryce Dixon. Bryce, this was y'all had the lead. They come back on you. How'd y'all maintain your emotions and win this football?
Man, the defense really stepped up tonight. I couldn't have asked for a better performance from my teammates, but that defense, man, that defense is what kept us going.
All right, Marlon, you were in on that play to knock it down. Talk about how nervous you were on that final Hail Mary by Benton.
Hey, we've been in that situation before. Hey, we know we got to stop that play. That's dedication to hard work. We've been working for this all year. Hey, I'm telling you, bro. Hey, we're the best team in Arkansas.
You guys are going down in history. First state championship for Searcy since the 30s. Talk about that.
Hey, that's what we do. Hey, we knew it from the start. Hey, all we had to do is come out. We knew it from the summer, bro. Hey, we came out, we worked. That's what we did. This is the result of hard work.
How about you? How's it feel to be a state champ, man?
It's a blessing, man. It's a blessing. We came out this season, and we said we wanted to be the best to ever do it, and that's what we did.
Go celebrate, boys. Congratulations.
Thank you. Hey, I appreciate it.
You bet, man. Hey, Keith, keep it up.
Thank you, Eric. A team loaded with juniors and seniors at skill positions. When you hear those guys talk, you know that's been years of hard work getting to this point. They were confident in what they said to Eric. They were confident in the way they played today.
Yeah, Marlon Crockett not lacking for confidence there. Made the proclamation that they're the best team in Arkansas. Won't be able to find that out. There's no tournament of champions, but we can say they are the best team in Class 6A. Last week they take down the defending state champion. This week they take down the team in the championship game. So hat off to Searcy. And they reel off a pretty impressive stretch to close out the season.
Lions finished 12-1. Their only loss to Jonesboro in the regular season. Eric's found somebody else down there.
Daniel Perry, you become AETN's favorite guy. You had 3 forced turnovers in the end zone, 2 picks. You made that sensational play to stop the touchdown from Benton. What was you just extra fired up tonight?
Yes, sir. I was just ready to play, and I was ready to do what I need to do. And my teammates was behind me, and I was ready to get them turnovers. I had it in my mind throughout the game, the whole game.
All right, AETN, I was glad to have you on TV tonight because that one-handed interception is going to ESPN. Top plays, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
How's it feel to get state, man?
It feels amazing. I never thought be here right now as a sophomore, but yeah, we here now. We here.
Hey, you're out of breath. Go celebrate and get even more out of breath, buddy. Congratulations, man.
Yeah, Eric's exactly right. Offensive MVP awards all the time go to offensive players. Bryce Dixon, the quarterback, 341 yards, 2 touchdowns. But if I had a vote, which they did not give it to me because we're over here by ourselves, Scott, I tell you what, Daniel Perry had a heck of a game. 2 interceptions in the end zone, and the forced fumble and the recovered fumble at the 1-yard line. To me, he had the biggest impact on this football game.
Well, I think that's without a doubt, and that's what valuable is supposed to mean in that MVP, right?
That's right.
I mean, it's who made the most impact on the game. But hey, as you mentioned, we don't have a vote, and all the other guys that may end up getting it on the offense, or one of the guys on the offensive side that may get it, obviously worthy as well, because Searcy did very well offensively tonight. But man, I hear the eruption as Eric is doing that interview from the crowd. How about this crowd? We mentioned them a couple of times tonight, but, I mean, Searcy's a town of what, 12, 15,000, somewhere in that, about an hour away from War Memorial Stadium, and thousands of Searcy Lion fans here tonight to watch this happen. But they had a chance to see history.
That's right. It's really impressive because there may be one person, maybe two, that was alive in the crowd in the stands right now the last time Searcy won a state championship. A really impressive performance, and nice to see the town show up, and hopefully they'll come back next week because Harding Academy going to be in the 3A state championship game.
How about that for a town of 12, 15?
Yes, that's pretty good.
In the state championship. 6A champions, the Searcy Lions, will be back to War Memorial Stadium in just a moment. You're watching the state finals on AETN Sports.
AETN welcomes Jesse Cook and his Beyond Borders tour in an exclusive concert on January 11th at Reynolds Performance Hall in Conway. Call or visit us online and get your tickets today.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible.
Welcome back to War Memorial Stadium as the Searcy Lions are about to see the trophy reach their hands after a long wait for that community. First time in the championship game since 1984. First time winning it since 1933. The Lions are ready for the announcement. They've already given the runner-up trophy to the Benton Panthers. And now the state championship trophy handed to Coach Mark Kelly in his 5th season as the head coach of the Searcy Lions.
What a great moment for a team that fumbled on their 3rd offensive play, lost their 1,000-yard rusher early in the contest. Johnson Guthrie gutted it out, blew a lead, but still able to hang on and win this state championship. You know it means so much to that coaching staff, those players on the field, and obviously all these thousands of fans in the stands.
Yeah, you talked about those 3 turnovers in the red zone tonight. One stat we never brought up in the broadcast that Coach talked about, 7 non-offensive touchdowns this year by this Searcy defense. So you know that they play very well ripping the ball.
Yeah, very opportunistic defense.
Plus 15 on the turnover margin. That's a big number. So the defense getting the stops necessary and the offense doing what they needed to do to clip Benton tonight, 28-27. You go back to that 2-point conversion. Could have been tied, could have seen overtime.
That's right.
But it was a night of gutsy calls, man, and Brad Harris made a big one there.
Yeah, the stat sheet was almost identical. 453 yards. We'll go over the full stats in a little bit, but 453 for Searcy, 427 for Benton. The first downs were pretty similar, but the 3 turnovers in the red zone, lost opportunities when you're in the scoring zone, really cost the Benton Panthers, and that's what they're going to be thinking about in the offseason.
So we're going to hang with you as they take pictures with the trophies, take a look at the stats. They'll say halftime, but these are actually the final numbers because the final score was indeed 28-27. The passing yards, Searcy with the edge there, but the total yards very, very even. The total plays, total even, but the red zone conversions, the red zone efficiency, really the difference in the game as we've talked about all night long. Give you some individual numbers while we're up here. Casey Johnson leads the way for Benton, 29 carries, 159 yards, and a touchdown. And we'll take a pause in those individual numbers because we are told that Eric Sullivan is standing by with Coach Mark Kelly.
All right, thank you, Scott. Coach Kelly, first of all, congratulations. I know the town of Searcy is super pumped up to get this first state championship in such a long time. You guys made this one interesting, didn't you?
Yeah, I made some bad calls myself. Our guys played extremely hard. We kind of let them stay in it, and we just couldn't finish some drives and everything. But our guys came up with enough plays to get the win.
All right, you had an outstanding defensive performance with 3 turnovers in the red zone by one young man, Mr. Perry. And then I thought Dixon handled himself, despite that 4th down pick that they ran it back, but he came back and y'all got to at least get some clock running.
I mean, you think about Daniel Perry making all those plays, the sophomore, amazing football player, great future. And then Bryce just coming out and doing what he does, running around, being elusive, and making plays.
You go back to the summer, or you've been here 5 years. Did you know something special was about this Searcy line group?
I knew we had a really good group, especially when we went to some team camps and competed really well. So we were excited, and we didn't quite know it would be like this, but we knew we had a good opportunity.
You see that sea of Searcy fans at War Memorial Stadium where the Razorbacks play. What's that mean to you and your guys?
It really means a lot. I mean, just thinking about how much, how many people have been through this program, how many coaches, great people have been through it and hadn't had a chance to do this. And, we just played and they fought extremely hard for those guys that weren't able to get here. And, we're taking it back home.
School out all next week because the party's going to keep going on?
I doubt that. We'll probably be back in there Monday. It's going to be fun.
Enjoy it, Coach. Thank you for the
very
time.
much. Thank you.
All right, Scott and Bobby, I don't know how we topped that one, but we've got 3 more shots at it next week with 3 more games, and it's been a good one. We'll send it back up to you guys in the booth.
All right, I'm going to give them my vote. If they want to let school out for a week, go right ahead.
Right.
I think they deserve it, but I think that's a great answer, Coach.
Yeah.
The politically correct answer was, nope, we're going in Monday. Hey, great job, Eric. It was great to be with you tonight as well. We did see 3 really good football games, but we did save the best for last.
We did.
Finish tonight.
This is what it's all about. The 2 best teams in Class 6A. It comes down to the final play. You work so hard. 6 months. Now it used to be 6 months. Now it's 12 months a year, 365 for that. For those final 4 seconds is what you want to see, in Searcy able to cap it off with a victory.
Well, where do we go from here? I mean, we've got 3 more coming up next weekend. Right here at War Memorial Stadium on Friday night, and on Saturday another doubleheader. The smaller classifications come in, and there won't be quite as many repeat teams as we saw this weekend, but several teams we're going to be very familiar with.
Yeah, 2 teams that were in the state championship games a year ago are back in Class 3A. Osceola, who lost to Boonville, got a chance to maybe get a little revenge. They're going to be playing a Harding Academy team we've mentioned from Searcy, and in Class 2A, Junction City's got a chance to repeat.
Yeah, and how about Shiloh Christian?
Yeah, Shiloh Christian, 14-0, looking for their first state title in almost a decade. First trip to War Memorial in 2010. They've been pretty good, but Joe T. Robinson also coming back to the finals.
You'll be back for the Shiloh game.
I'll be back on Friday.
And we'll have R.J. Hawk in here for the other 2 games. We hope you have enjoyed the broadcast this weekend, and we certainly hope you'll join us again next Friday. For Eric Sullivan and for Bobby Swafford and the entire AETN Sports crew, have a great weekend, and so long from War Memorial Stadium.